And that's when I noticed that the audio was already peaking. Oi, 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 oi.
Good
Oi.
Lord.
Welcome, one and all, to the Big Damn Cast episode. I don't fucking know, 1010 at this point somewhere.
I've actually forgotten what episode it is.
It's well, we did because so a few weeks ago we
one a week for 5 years.
It's 500.
yeah, it's 260.
260.
260. 500.
But 500
But the
years.
other week we advertised episode 256 was going to be the 5th anniversary, and then a day later I just texted you and went, I think I did the math wrong.
I think you may have done.
And it's the fact that neither of us had noticed.
I didn't pull him up on it. No.
That's the thing. So counting is not a strong suit.
No. So we think it's the 5th anniversary.
But it is now. So welcome aboard to the 5th anniversary episode of Big Damn Cast, Pop Culture Podcast, Nerdy News, Geeky Gossip, whatever it is we want to fucking talk about at this point. Let's be brutally honest.
Yeah.
There are no rules. Last year there was no pop culture news.
No.
Everything was bad.
One could argue that as each day goes by, there is less and less culture, pop or otherwise.
Yeah.
But
But one thing that has happened in the last year
oh yeah,
has been the very slow but inevitable rollout of vaccinations to a worldwide pandemic.
Baby.
Which means, if you're listening to this on your iPoddies or your MP3 players, this is the first Big Damn Cast since last March to be recorded in one room.
Yep.
I'm Chris Johnson,
I'm fully vaccinated.
and hiding behind us like a creepy creeper man.
Creepy goblin boy, bring him up.
For those listening to the podcast after the fact, Charlie was just brought up like a prop.
I'm Charlie and I'm here! Yay!
We got him back, and also we can touch him now.
18
Look,
months.
touch him.
18 months it's
Touch
been,
him.
my boys.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
sweet,
yeah.
precious boys.
It's been far too long, and we thought, what's the first thing we should do when we all have the opportunity to be in the vicinity of each other? I know, perform.
Let's
for
get
other
that three-way
people.
going!
Oh,
What?
Big Damn OnlyFans when? So we're also recording this and beaming this out live. If you listen to this after the fact, we're joined by other people. So deal with it,
Yeah.
roll with it, take your time, say what you'll say. Don't let anybody get in your way. Also, didn't one of the Gallaghers turn out to...
Chris, it's all too much.
Yeah,
It's very a lot.
for me to
For
say.
me to say.
Yeah.
It's very a lot.
Terrible.
To your health, sir. To your health.
To mine health.
To 5 years,
5
gentlemen.
years.
To Pfizer, to Moderna, to all of her friends.
To Oxford AstraZeneca.
Oh, do we have the 3 different types in this room? Well, you're Pfizer.
I'm a Pfizer boy.
You're an
personally.
AstraZeneca boy.
AstraZeneca.
I'm a Moderna boy.
Well, Matthew's a gentleman of a certain age. So
I'm a
he
gentleman
would
of a
be
certain age.
Pfizer was unavailable to us, to him, because we are such youngsters.
We're
Yeah.
young bucks.
Well, no, it's what it is because my BMI was considered more life-threatening than my partner's heart condition. So that's what it is.
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Not sure
right?
that works.
Cool, thanks, doctors.
No, I remember at the time we were like, but like heart condition. They're
Heart
like,
condition,
yeah, we're worried about Matt. It's like,
Yeah.
Matt's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's a powerful Viking.
I am.
He's a Viking
I'm
boy.
indeed a powerful. Maybe.
Powerful Viking
All I know
woman.
is that I'm powerful. Whether I'm a Viking or not, that's up in the air.
You could be in a Facebook ad for beard trimmers. That's how powerful you are.
Powerful being.
Mm.
What's going on? What's been happening this
I don't
last
fucking know.
5
What has
weeks,
been happening?
5
What?
years?
18 months.
18 months. Time is.
I
time is an
re-listened.
illusion.
I know. I went back and re-listened to the episode that I was last in, and the stuff that
That was best of rest of.
at the time, yeah, it was best of rest of. So it was all to do with what are we looking forward to, what have we
Little did
enjoyed.
we know.
So it was, Black Widow's going to be great. Sonic looks like it's going to be. We did end up seeing.
We did
Sonic,
see
actually.
Sonic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
It
guys
was
you managed to squeeze that one in.
Shit.
It was not good.
What
I
else?
can't remember if that or Invisible Man was the last thing I saw at the cinema. I can't remember what order they came in.
I think Invisible. Yeah, it was Invisible Man because that was the last Big Damn review to go up on
Yeah,
the YouTube
okay,
channel
okay,
in the
okay.
year of cinematic releases.
Yeah, yeah.
Death Stranding featured heavily.
It did feature heavily, and I've
yeah.
still not finished it.
and just going back and just thinking about 2019 as a kind of retrospective as we did then.
Yeah.
And like, that feels like a fucking lifetime again.
Really does.
Good. Like that was within living memory. 2019 was, but it feels like it was my parents that lived it. It was that fucking long ago.
It's such a like fucking hacky and cliche thing to say at this point, but it really does feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
It does not feel like 18 months. It feels like several millennia have passed.
Yes.
And so much has just upheaved and downheaved and just generally heaved. It's really just been fucking whirlwind, man.
It has been. It has been.
And for us,
it
at
has
least, not so much for a lot of other people, sadly, but for our little circle, things are starting to get back to normal-ish.
Yeah.
Ish, yeah.
Ish.
Call me ish.
Call me ish male.
Indeed.
So yeah. So we're just gonna chat about. We've had our little 5-year celebration, and now we're gonna chat about some shit like we normally do, but with a bit more ceremony.
With a bit more diversity. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah.
The one thing that we are sorely lacking is diversity.
Budget.
No. Yeah, it
Sorry,
is very weird being on the show and being like, we want to talk about these things that are vital and things that we have problems with in terms of, representation of gender, race, and sexual. Oh, we're so white.
But look at us.
We're such a pair of white, sort of straight men. Somewhat. Half
Half straight.
Half of us is straight. Yeah. Well,
we're 100% societally straight presenters.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not receiving any prejudice because I'm married to a straight woman.
Yeah, it's fine.
Who just arrived right now, actually.
Oh, looking for her.
So Lou might pop in.
The women arrive.
The women.
Yes.
The women.
The women are here. Show them in.
Yeah.
Bring forth the women.
Welcome to the women.
First the large women, then the small women, then the large women again.
The body's willing, so the flesh is bruised and spongy.
Death by snow. That's a visual gag for anyone listening. So
I'll tell you what happened this past week.
what happened? He said,
So what happened this past couple of days?
grabbing 3 glasses.
I know you mentioned wanting to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
In some, let's pop this first. Let's pop this cork.
Ooh.
Let us crown this wooden.
So,
as the
one
chat has
one does
pointed
not
out,
turn 5 every day.
Nope.
No.
So I think this is a cause to celebrate. Do you not? Do you not?
I agree at gunpoint because
Get the fucking drugs out.
alcohol forces me to compel.
Oh, hey, Keeks.
As the chat have pointed out, lovely Keeks is also in the chat on our way home. Hello, Keeks.
A woman.
Not just any woman.
Your woman.
The woman.
The capital W. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat has pointed out that it's the wooden anniversary.
Oh.
So let's achieve erections.
Let's get
Listen,
wood.
let's not ask the impossible now, okay?
I'm a man of a certain age.
Yeah. It's been a long year.
So beautiful
Still love
Charlie
18 months.
not only gifted us with himself and his face, but also this bottle of Cava, which one should toast 5 years. So the
If
question
I'd
is,
known, I would have brought you a 2x4. But
Just beat us over the
just
head.
beat you to death with it. To have the season finale that this show's been desperately needing.
Arguably the better choice. But
would
alas,
have been a memorable
alas for the world, that decision was
Yeah,
not
no,
made.
my loss is the world's gain, I guess.
Well,
So before we talk about our media peers and review things that are out in the world, film and TV and whatnot, let's do this make the most sensible decision. Get drunk and lose all inhibitions about whether or not we're going to offend them. So, yes, here we go. Found the bloody cork.
offensive.
Now,
And another thing.
this is in my office, by the way, for those listening. A room full of technology and collectibles. And I'm about to pop a cork in it. So this could end horribly.
You just have to have the glass ready to pour into.
Or go for under the table. So if it dings upwards, the worst that'll happen is that you'll get a little bit of a shaking on the mic.
I've got the glass ready to go and catch any spillage.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Go on,
Here we go.
good
Hey.
boy, Christopher.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not squirting out. It's more of a dribble.
That's what she said.
Hey!
That's why they bring me back. That's why they keep bringing me back, guys. The singers like those.
Like why I claim your goblet,
Thank you.
and I shall bequeath you the liquids of time.
The liquids of time.
The
Coming
juice.
soon from Big Finish.
Oh. Which gap's that filling?
Oh, well,
Well.
they don't care anymore.
Hello, Beast.
Hello, tiny beast.
The dog just ran in to tell us that Lucy's home.
Oh,
Hello, gorgeous. We're live right now. It's the Big Damn Cast 5th anniversary. Would you like some carver? Would you like some carver?
I brought some fizz.
Would you like some dirty, dirty carver, madam?
There's...
Oh
no,
my god.
Very true.
Oh, bloody hell. Apparently I clocked the dog outside. We'd only been upstairs about 15 minutes. Sorry. Bloody hell. I closed the back door and didn't check the dog was indoors.
I thought she was indoors.
I thought she was indoors. She was shivering. Do you think she's going to hate me?
It's not cold.
No, but my reception will be for the rest of the night.
That's it.
For bequeathing our baby child. Oh
you
my
are,
God.
ironically, in the doghouse.
Yes, which means I should probably get drunk, as all good in trouble people are.
God, I'm really struggling to read this. My eyes are terrible.
You don't need to read it. You just get to enjoy.
No, I just think it's interesting. I'm trying to read the. Oh,
Kinks is physically.
I saw my name. I saw my name. I'm getting attention.
He's getting attention.
Yes.
Cheers.
Slanger, gentlemen.
Solange.
To your health. To
Daniel.
continued success.
Yes.
To the next 5 years.
Yes.
Fucking hell, that's exhausting. Yes.
Oh, bugger.
Excellent audio content.
Ooh.
So, Christopher. You reminded me that something was happening this gone week because I've not been paying any attention to it because I don't pay attention to things anymore.
The Electronic Arts.
The Electronic 3.
The Electronic 3.
Electronic cubed, one might say.
The ELL.
I wish there was definitely one announcement that's relevant to our interests.
Yes. Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so E3.
Is it Mario versus Rabbids?
No.
No.
But Mario vs. Rabbids is surprising.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, that first one was quite well received, but I don't know if it blew up.
And it was 5 odd years ago.
People did
so
like
it seems to
yeah.
be an odd kind of like, oh, and this, we guess.
Yeah.
It was an unusual announcement. But no, Guardians of the Galaxy is getting a third-person action-adventure, narrative-led, single-player campaign game.
From Eidos Montreal.
Yay!
The last full game that they made, I think, was...
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Was it that, or was it Deus Ex Mankind Divided?
Oh, it may have been.
One of those.
One of that. Yeah, one was Shadow. 2017, I think.
I think after Deus Ex, they ended up being like a help-out studio on Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Marvel's Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
There's less said about
Well,
that, probably.
that's my main concern. Because it was part of Square's presentation, and I was like, I don't like how you guys handled the other thing I love. I'm not sure I want you handling more things I love.
It does seem to be a more focused thing than Marvel's Avengers, though, because it is single-player, story-based, and you just play as Star-Lord.
Which to me seems like a missed opportunity.
The Guardians then become your sort of allies, and that. But
so Star-Lord being the shepherd of this particular story, for example. Like everyone else is still interesting, or hopefully, and like you're.
They showed off a lot of the dialogue, and it's like I see what you're going for, but some of this could get really trite very quickly because it is almost, but not quite, the MCU versions. So it is very much that thing of they're just adjacent enough to
just design-wise, you're talking about.
Design-wise and personality-wise.
That's the thing that upset me. That was the visceral reaction I had to the trailer, was how ugly it looks. Or specifically how they look.
The guy doing Rocket does sound like he's doing almost a Bradley Cooper impression.
Which is fine.
Who in himself is doing a Joe Pesci impression.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Well, my main beef is just like, they look over-designed.
Well, I did see an excellent tweet that says Star-Lord with his mask off is like... looks like the kind of guy who's really into Norse mythology in a way that makes you concerned.
Yeah, yes, he's one sort of like beard trimming session away from running a YouTube channel about Atlas Shrugged.
He's a few gym sessions away from being the golden one. Like
I think the main thing that the main hurdle this thing has to jump over is because the discourse around Avengers is so toxic at this point. I don't mean in terms of like people being negative about it in a bad, like it deserves its negativity and deserves to be spoken. But just I mean that they have salted the earth and scorched it. Just in terms of public perception of that thing.
And this is a different studio making a sort of different kind of game. It just because it got the same trappings.
It's the same trappings, and also is being presented at E3 by the same studio.
Yeah, well, the same publisher. Yeah,
same publisher. Sorry. And at that point, the PR around this thing it needs to be better. Like it's because it's not won you over, and you've suffered through that thing.
Oh god, yeah.
Well, I think
more than suffered. Like to the point where they announced the Black Panther expansion in this C3.
Yeah, they also showed that off. It's like,
I genuinely thought they packed it in. I genuinely would have thought they would have just cut losses and run at this point.
I guess they were already developing that, and they just were like, "But this will be the last push."
Yeah,
the success of that will decide whether or not they do any more.
I wonder what the player base is on that thing.
For Steam, it's tiny.
Plummeted. It's
Steam is tiny.
Well, we were on the stream last night. I was chatting, and I think it was Ian informed me that the Steam player count for Avengers is lower than the Steam player count for Detroit Become Human. By about 200 players.
Excellent. Well, again, Detroit came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was just over half.
Yep.
Of the Detroit.
And it's one of those things that you can get through. You go through once, maybe twice in my case.
Yeah.
And you're done. Like whereas Avengers is designed.
It's meant to be infinite play. Like, you want to keep coming back, baby.
Yeah. And the fact that everyone just completely fobbed it off.
You don't want to keep fighting Taskmaster again,
and I think that they've avoided two pitfalls with Avengers with the Guardians game, and that they're very upfront about it being a single player story game and not this game as service multiplayer thing.
I just don't think people would go for it. If they went to the game as service, people just literally aren't going to go for it.
No, exactly.
Because they've already burnt enough people with that thing.
So I think by not doing that, they've made a smart decision. But also, it's coming out in October. So they haven't actually revealed it until 4 or 5 months before it's out. Yeah. Which is probably, I think, a lot of this stuff. The long tail on the Avengers DLC included is probably again due to the pandemic just making everything take longer. I think if we weren't in the pandemic, strangely, it would have been worse for Marvel's Avengers in that they would have been pushed off onto another project quicker rather than being made to see through the stuff that they'd already started.
Yeah.
Just speculation on that. But I think that's probably what has been able to give Avengers the long tail that it has, because it certainly wasn't that well received. And if you look at something like Anthem, which came out before the pandemic, there was a lot of. I know it's a different publisher.
It was taken around the back of the shed, and the bullet was put in its head during the pandemic.
But I think that they were probably at a point where the work they had so much work to do to fix that thing that they just couldn't make it happen in the confines. But also, different publishers have different policies on this kind of thing, and EA are very much a publisher who will, as soon as something isn't working, they will, as you say.
They're very Spartan.
Yeah, they'll let it go.
If there's a sign of weakness, they're cutting it out and it's gone.
Whereas Square Enix are willing to stick with the thing past the point. I mean, look at
Hitman.
Hitman, yeah.
Like Hitman didn't sell, but it was fucking brilliant. But they stuck with it, and then IO ended up
they did eventually.
Anyway.
So they did eventually. Well, they have. It's weird because they announced a new Hitman game, but it's Hitman Sniper. So it's set in the Hitman universe, but it's not a Hitman game because IO have the rights to Hitman, Agent 47, and those sort of like that to do what they want with him. But Square Enix still has the ability to make stuff in the larger Hitman world.
What do these contracts look like?
It must be insane.
Agent 47 is a complete no-go.
It must be
but
insane.
We can do... And also the Hitman expanded world, isn't that just the world? Isn't that just normal world?
Yeah, you'd think. But no, because it's all this like, there's a secret cabal of assassins who are all brainwashed.
This is like
the
Bourne Legacy.
Yeah,
it's a bit like that,
yeah.
where it's like, you can't have Matt Damon, but you can allude...
you can have Jeremy Renner.
You can allude to Matt Damon, and there are all these people that have lost their memories and blah, 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 blah.
It's that kind of thing.
Riveting.
So, and Square Enix, they I mean, it's slightly different with Final Fantasy because it's sort of it's the thing that they're most known for, but the amount of time they poured into Final Fantasy 14 before people actually really liked it. Like, they remade that game from the ground up completely about a year in.
Yeah.
Because the original version was just so poorly received.
They kept hacking away at it. And just going like, honestly, there's a diamond in here.
It was so poorly received that they remade the entire thing, brought the storyline to an end with an apocalypse, and then relaunched it as a Realm Reborn. So they are willing to make those to stick with those things. Obviously, it's a very different example because it was a different franchise, and this was way before the games as service boom. as it is now. Well, I think we're in the bust period now. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Fingers crossed,
but
we're in the downward spiral of it all. It would be nice.
I think Square Enix do have the sort of propensity to go, yeah, we're not sure, but we've already put some money into this, and they've already got those things. Because this DLC would have been in, like, the way that they've announced it and rolled it out, it's very clear that they had a base game and DLC planned for a year at least.
This
so
is
there
Avengers,
would have been, So there would have been preliminary, like, stuff would have been in pre-production, if not actual production, by the time the main game shipped.
Yeah.
So
although that then got delayed by trying to fix the main game for several months. We didn't see additional character stuff until 4 months after the release of the game, when it was meant to be in the month afterwards.
That would have been quicker had there not been the pandemic and people that hadn't been, working from
that
home
too.
working.
But then the first two characters were also basically the same character reskinned with slightly different ability. Kate Bishop and
But this
Clint
leads
Barton.
into why now this Guardians of the Galaxy announcement is having to be tempered by the baggage that it's coming with. It's not coming in as a fresh announcement on its own merits. It's a studio that has a lot of cachet. It's a license that now, after James Gunn's series of films, has a huge amount of cachet.
Yeah.
But it has to deal with the fact that they've completely bungled the an Avengers licensed game in
a year where the universe took away Marvel's presence as a cinematic giant. In a year where that could have been, for a giant fan base and a portion of sort of the media consuming planet, their like dose of Avengers that year. And then they botched.
Well, I mean, it couldn't have been a hotter license at the time. Like 15 years ago, no one would have given a fuck.
Oh God, no.
Like Captain America is objectively well, for the most part.
Be careful, he is listening.
No, but isn't odd.
There are several Captain Americas listening.
It seems to be quite a sort of jingoistic character. Who gives a fuck about Iron Man? Like Black Widow, Who? Like none of these people, like nobody cared about any of these
Hawkeye,
things.
isn't that guy from the A-Team?
Exactly. But like all that goodwill that game came in with, all the goodwill that the film stuff had given it, completely wasted. Completely wasted. And I would need to, and the fact they're announcing this thing with 4 months to go, that doesn't fill me with a huge amount of
but I also think that it's been, the press cycle around this would have started much earlier. This probably would have started last E3.
No, but you can release trailers and stuff like that. You don't need a person there, like, in a booth writing, doing journalistic things with a notepad. Like, you can just release a trailer on YouTube.
Square Enix are less confident about stuff like this holding on its own. I think Japanese companies in particular do like to do these things around big press events.
Yeah, prior to
E3,
they had announced that there was a Guardians game in development.
Yeah,
but that was the most we had.
Yeah,
like, that was it. So they kept it very close to the chest. So like you say, it might have been more the traditional Japanese studio announcement thing of being like, "Oh, we will show it when we're nearly done."
And you can turn these ill will situations around. I mean, Ian's just mentioned in chat No Man's Sky. That had an enormous turnaround.
How are you reading that? You can't see it, but this text, to me at least, is fucking tiny.
There's two screens over that way. One of them is in Matt's immediate peripheral, and also what Charlie hasn't noticed yet is my phone's here with the chat on.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I can't see that though.
Okay, let me see this. I want to see what I can read.
But I think that's an interesting example because not only did they have. It was very poorly received. And
people knew Spider-Man, Ian. Of course they did.
But the advantage that No Man's Sky had over a lot of these big studio games as service things, which come out and sort of die, is a 4-person team.
The No Man's Sky stuff.
Yeah, it's 4 people.
I mean, they were being given rope for which to hang themselves. Doing that media, they literally were going. Yeah, no, it's gonna be. You can meet your friends, and then you can just see them all the time. Everything's procedurally generated. There are a billion different plans.
Everyone else at the studio at the side of the stage going, "Stop!
Like Sean Murray's been very fucking open about being like, "Yeah, I made some serious mistakes during promotion."
It's like, you think, Sean? You think?
It's a lot easier for a 4-person studio to turn a game around like that, just because of overhead. Like, the amount of money they got up front from the co-publishing deal with Sony. Like, so they had a bunch of rope to hang themselves, but they also had enough space to to be able to go, okay, well, we've created this problem for ourselves, we need to fix it. Whereas the bigger publishers tend to be more, I should say, Spartan about things. Well, as soon as something, and these teams are much bigger.
I think just in terms of like the public perception side of things, though.
Absolutely.
I think there is a huge difference between No Man's Sky being an ambitious but misguided new IP and Avengers coming out in, what was it, 2019? 2020.
September
so
2020.
2 years
After
Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, it couldn't have been a hotter property, and for them somehow to stumble over the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Stumble, comedy pratfall over the finish line.
Like, that is a different kind of thing, where it's just like, the difference between expectation and end results was almost like, you could say it's similar to No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky didn't have the fucking open goal that an Avengers license
exactly. And that has often been the problem with licensed games, which is why we saw such.
It made me think about 2006 again. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, this stuff used to be shit, and then Batman came out.
But like specifically things that were sort of more overt tie-ins too, because you could turn around and say that Avengers isn't based on the MCU, but there's no way it's a mistake that it came out that close to Infinity War, and take that much inspiration from the MCU to the point of it just kind of looking like a poor imitation.
Yeah,
and I think, like we were saying, that Guardians of the Galaxy is falling into that trap.
They looked like the guys who dress up at the theme parks.
It's
like, he kind of looks like Robert Downey Jr. Like, kind of looks like Mark Ruffalo.
You should absolutely keep in mind the perception people have, but I think the smartest decision to make nowadays would have been to have gone via, at least with the Avengers characters as a whole, and that kind of the MCU representation in everyone's minds. It would have been a much better decision to veer close to what Nintendo Switch did with Ultimate Alliance 3.
And make it very cartoony.
Very cartoony, very comic booky.
Because that opens with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they're the lead characters in the first half of the story.
And it is very much the MCU-ified versions of those characters, because that's kind of one of those examples where the comic characters were so sort of not obscure, but not mainstream. Well, the Abnett and Lanning version that they're sort of was the inspiration for the movie versions. They were sort of like, it was a well-regarded title in the sort of comic circle.
Yeah, if you were collecting singles, you were like, oh, Guardians is great.
Or even if you were reading in trades, but like had a toe dipped into what was going on in comics at the time. Yeah. Like, people were like, oh, this Abnett and Lanning running Guardians like reinvents the team. It takes some really good characters.
I think I've got that. I've got like some of it.
It's just dawning on me now. Do you know what I think could have been a potentially really interesting way for Square to have gone with their apparently bottomless Marvel license? Is to do a kind of their version of Enter the Matrix. Did you ever play that?
Yes.
Where it's a
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead kind of story. This is happening adjacent.
Yeah,
to
it's happening. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you've got characters that feature in a even if you don't.
For non-theatre fans out there, it's like a Lion King 1.5. Okay.
I mean, I feel like there are fewer people that saw that. But basically, like having characters who are minor but interesting, or characters that could potentially feel the shockwave of the effect of the movie stuff, but aren't directly involved in it, don't need to be seen. I think that would be an interesting story to follow, and a way in which you could directly connect with the goodwill from the films, whilst also not having... You have free reign to do whatever you want without worrying about affecting it.
You know who's done that twice with a licensed game, quite interestingly as well?
Go on.
Warner have done it twice with Lord of the Rings games.
Yeah. Oh my god, what was the one on PS2?
There was the Lord of the Rings, The Third Age.
That was it.
Which was the Final Fantasy X style RPG,
yes,
like turn-based RPG.
Game.
Which was literally like a group of adventurers who came
together. You had a dwarf, an elf, and a human warrior.
And they sort of got together because they were all following the Fellowship for different reasons, and then it ended up coming together and sort of being a separate.
It was like Enter the Matrix formula of like you will go.
But through, good. You will go through. Sorry, I didn't clarify. Enter the Matrix, but good.
Yeah, because
it's a bad thing, and it's for bad people.
And it played a lot. Mechanics-wise, it played a lot like Final Fantasy X.
Or Into the Matrix.
I like Final Fantasy X.
So it was that kind of like
turn-based combat,
sort of, but not quite turn-based. but with better aesthetics and voice acting, and set in the Lord of the Rings. And then they did War in the North on PS3, which was a rather less successful action RPG version of that. Again, with an elf, a man, and a dwarf. But I was actually less connected to that, because the Third Age was very much a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead version of, like, they're literally just off screen.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I would like to see.
Yeah, you arrive at the Mines of Moria after they've been at the Mines of Moria, and you deal with what's left over.
It's very.
There was a Balrog fight in that game, wasn't there?
I think there was. Yeah.
Well, they never fought it in the film, did they? Or the book, presumably.
And Gandalf just goes, and it goes,
it falls down the pit, I guess.
Although, if we're talking, then again, Lego Dimensions picks up in the main storyline from Gandalf fighting the Balrog.
Well, in which case, if Lego did it, fuck it. Like, let's not bother. Fuck.
I might have to try and
Lego have already covered it.
What I'm saying is, these games would be better if they were made of Lego.
I might have to try and track down a copy of the Third Age.
That's a hill I could die on,
you
mate. Sorry.
I might have to try and track down a copy of the Third Age and play it on stream, because I could go down that hole.
It's amongst the games my mum.
You should stick with the thing I lent you.
I'm gonna do some DBH next week. You wait.
On what, Matt? Twitch.tv/BigDamnStream. For those listening at home, I just pulled a face.
Sundays, 8 PM.
So yeah, I'm gonna dip into chat briefly because some people have thoughts about the E3 news. And that's part of
that's how you do it. Sorry, I've been trying to do it as it's been going on, so I've just my eyes have been going cross just trying to read the fucking thing.
Mr. DJR, who I believe is long-term fan of Big Damn Cast, Dan Rawlings, has said, "What a treat for my mind." So thanks, Dan.
Which bit?
All of it.
Let me know.
Chewy points out it's at least 5 minutes since the last dick joke. Are you guys okay? So obviously Chewy's not used to all this news.
Dick jokes.
Ian's pointed out Marvel's Avengers would have introduced people to Ms. Marvel before her Disney Plus series. So again, that's something where they've cocked up, because a lot of people now go, "Oh, Kamala was a bit annoying," and that's going to sort of
the one thing I've heard about that thing in the one thing I've heard about
people, which I don't get because I really loved her in the campaign.
The only thing I've heard about in the positive is the fact that Miss Kamala Khan is not only presented well, but is also incredibly well acted.
Yeah, she's behind you as well. She's on the shelf, lurking on that shelf behind you.
So she is.
She's peering at you with her mind.
It's called The Marvels, Miss Marvel.
The Marvels. Yeah.
Which is going to be.
Well, she's going to have her own series, and then she'll be in The Marvels.
So Brie Larson and her, presumably.
Brie Larson and
Teyonah Parris.
And Teyonah Parris from WandaVision.
As Monica Rambeau.
I have seen WandaVision.
Monica Rambeau. She's the one who got powers after going through
Monica
the hex.
Rambeau. Wait, she's Miss Marvel.
Yeah, she's been Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel for.
I thought Miss Marvel was.
Ladies and gentlemen, strap in for Matt presents a potted history of Captain Marvel.
You be quiet and don't interject.
Here we go.
So, the Captain Marvel name in the comics has been through very, very, very many characters.
You've done this on the podcast. I've heard you do this before.
Yeah. Yes, and basically, the original Captain Marvel was there was an accident, and he ended up giving some of his powers to Carol Danvers, who became Ms. Marvel for many years. Then an unrelated character called Monica Rambeau, who had sort of light manipulating energy powers, took the Captain Marvel name in the late 70s, early 80s as part of like Marvel doing like more diverse versions of their existing characters. Like, let's have a black woman be Captain Marvel.
Get the ethnics in.
Yes, exactly. It almost did that voice, but like American. Yeah. And then, so Carol Danvers didn't actually take the Captain Marvel name until the mid to late 2000s, early 2010s, I think, actually, where like as the comics were starting to get more high profile, particularly with the success of the MCU, they were looking at a lot of the older characters and going, "This is a bit sexist. Maybe we shouldn't have her flying around in the leotard calling herself Ms. Marvel. Maybe she should be Captain Marvel. So, you know, she is an actual Air Force captain." And you know, being
it's a legacy name not currently being used by anyone important that people freaking love.
Yeah, because Monica Rambeau was never a super popular character. She never really had much of an on.
She wasn't an earth shaker.
Yeah, so she didn't keep the Captain Marvel name for that long. And
no, she went on like Phasar and Quoton.
Photon
and Quasar. Yeah. Phasar and Quoton.
Phasar.
That's her stunt.
I don't think she was ever Quasar. Quasar's a different character. And then the Kamala Khan character, is like an in-universe and Avengers,
like a
like
fan,
big nerd,
right?
like a fangirl. And she is a big fan of Captain Marvel in particular, and that's why she takes the Ms. Marvel name when she gets superpowers in honor of Carol Danvers. So, The Marvels, the film, is going to star all three of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what they've also done is in the MCU, which they didn't do in the comics, is they've connected they've connected Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers by Carol being friends with
her
Monica's
mum.
mum. Yeah.
Carol being Monica's like friend auntie.
Yes.
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 Franti, if you will.
Yes. Okay.
So that's what
I
the
followed
connection
that,
between
so
the three
I
Marvels.
hope, and I'm useless with this stuff. So hopefully, people that don't follow this stuff will like closely.
There
maybe
are going to
they
be
do know.
700. They probably already are, but there's going to be about 700 YouTube videos a day as that movie gets closer to coming out, and going like, "Here's the weird lowdown you didn't know about why all the Marvels are connected."
10 reasons you'll never guess what number 8 is.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna watch the whole fucking
There's
thing.
going to be 700 of those.
A million
close to
thumbnails
the
with
original.
red circles around
Yeah,
like Brie
yeah.
Larson's shoulder for things like. Because it's like, what does that mean?
Well,
does
the
it mean
thing is
anything?
that they know, but Disney and Marvel also do know the audience that they're catering towards.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
they will have a fancy shoulder patch that means something because they
But
know that some nerdy bastard is
also-
going to check it. Like is going
Also,
to.
the Ms. Marvel series will predate that, so presumably they will seed some of that in that. The Ms. Marvel Disney Plus series,
right.
which is currently filming.
Over in the chat, wonderful SL Pro on 65 has said, now to confuse people with DC's Captain Marvel.
Oh God!
Which, of
no,
course, has
no,
been
no, no,
renamed.
No.
That's
Shazam.
Shazam. That's Shazam,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Shazam,
Yes.
There were many.
Which I still
Yeah.
haven't because I remember we covered that last time I was here. I still have not seen it.
It's very good.
Despite the fact that it is also on
It
Amazon
is-
Prime. at
yeah.
this
It
point.
It's very good.
is, hands down, controversial opinion alert in 3, 2, 1, the best DCEU movie.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
It's
Yeah,
just
It's a low bar to
it's,
clear.
it is a joyous 80s dark kids
Wait,
film.
hang
throwback.
on, wait. Joyous.
It's joyous.
Not joyless.
It's
Joyous.
revels in wonder.
joyless.
It-
Sure,
Ben
no,
Affleck- Ben
DC.
Affleck's
He's talking about DC.
It has
joyless.
It's saturated with
It
joy.
is anti-joy.
It's like you've taken
Joy is
a big,
removed.
You've
Ben
taken a big
Affleck-
sponge and put it in
It is
joy.
ex-joy.
Ben
It is no
Affleck's-
longer joy.
Ben
It is-
Affleck's Batman exists in that universe, and yet there are action figures of him that talk when their backs are pressed and
That's
they're
very
thrown
good.
at villains.
That's very good.
It is
That's a
full
very
of
good
actual
moment.
joy. Henry
There's
Cavill's
joy.
Superman.
There's
Henry
joy.
Cavill's Superman is used as a wonderful, fun punchline in a scene that he's all in on. And
There's-
it's just,
there's
it's,
joy.
Yeah.
And colour.
Yes. Ah.
we love a bit of colour around here. on this part, so we're going on.
Of all varieties. So yes, that's
For those of you listening at home, two of us are as white as fucking alabaster.
so. Staying on the
Mostly
Disney
from the neck down.
the Disney Marvel adjacent thing, let's talk about Loki.
Oh! He did a segue! He did a
what I
segue! It was one of them segues.
That's what I
They
did.
do them in media.
Hmm?
They do a thing
You
when they transition.
did down the barrel take
I
just to tell
I
them
did.
about the segue.
I did.
That's a big
little
bit
segue.
of news.
Perfect segue is not a
segue,
perfect
right?
segue unless you point out the perfect segue.
It was like a Miranda or a Fleabag. I just went right down the barrel and pointed him. Preferably Fleabag.
yeah.
And then I pointed.
So
That came out.
we've all seen the first episode of Loki, haven't we?
Minor spoiler warning for Loki episode 1. We'll try to keep anything too detrimental.
I think we
Non-specific.
can.
I don't know if there's a huge
Yeah,
amount that can be
let's-
spoiled.
We're
really
going to
about
spoil
it.
the first episode of Loki.
Like, we're going to tell
No,
you
we're
what
gonna
happens.
Spoiler warning for the first episode of Loki
Yeah.
because not that much happens really, so
no,
just deal with
and
it.
which is
Okay.
one of the reasons I really liked it. Actually,
Yes, it's a wonderful establishing episode.
The whole thing is just set up. The whole thing set up.
Yeah.
but I think so much of it was Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson just sort of sparking off each other in a really nice way. But yeah, so Chris,
Yes.
Thoughts?
in the literal, in the most concise manner possible.
Oh fuck.
For others, not for
yeah,
you.
for
Oh.
others,
Oh.
what happened in episode 1 of Loki? What's happening?
Continuing on from the events of Avengers Endgame, the Loki who escaped, who was not meant to escape, is taken in by the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, who are like, you're not meant to exist, motherfucker.
You did a weird
And
thing.
instead of killing him,
Yeah.
one of their agents, Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, says, do you know what, actually, you can help me out. First, I want to learn a little bit more about you. And that was the episode.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Wow,
Okay,
I did it in a sentence!
I want to add just a little bit of extra onto the end of this. Is that a lot of the kind of meat and potatoes of the thing is kind of like a sort of therapy session of just Loki trying to come to terms with who he is and why he is and his place within time and space. But the big reveal at the end as to why Owen Wilson thinks that he would be of some use to his future mission is because the person that his sort of variant hunting department are looking for is
another variant of Loki.
He's looking for himself.
So early on you see it's one of these sort of temporal crime scenes, and it turns
it's like in a monastery in France in like 1500 or something like that.
Yeah, and it turns out that there's a variant out there who has been. So the variants are sort of people from splinter timelines who shouldn't exist.
But like for whatever reason, like so for example, like if you miss the bus one day and you're late for work, or if you decide to pick up an Infinity Stone and zap on out of a timeline because people have gone back in time in order to stop the thing that you were doing, or if it's a flip of a coin and it lands a heads instead of a tails. Like it's all these different permutations of when timelines branch off.
Yeah,
and the implication is that this sort of bureaucratic,
wonderfully bureaucratic and wonderfully low-tech sort of 70s office style. Yeah,
who they're sort of constantly keeping people, like they're bringing people out of these fragmented time things. So, this guy was late, he wasn't supposed to be, bring him back, delete that timeline. Oh, this woman broke up with a boyfriend, she wasn't supposed to, bring her back, delete that timeline. Like, they're constantly doing this thing, but for whatever reason, there is a now third Loki. Because Loki 1 got Thanos. Loki 2 is now in this bureaucratic nightmare and is being quizzed and being asked to help. Loki 3, who we've yet to meet.
We think we've met them.
It's implied that that's Loki at the end of the episode.
The hooded figure.
Yeah. In the burning fields. But like, I mean,
burning people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've yet to kind of like interact with him and see kind of what he's about.
So that's 3 Lokis. 2 in the series. Although we see the third one.
I mean, now that I'm talking about it, who's to say there were only 3? Maybe there are more.
Maybe maybe the Loki they're apparently after is a later version of this variant who's come back to deal with it.
It's all time travel.
Wibbly wobbly, Loki wokey.
Because there's alternate timelines, but this is the timeline people. But there is also the possibility of like multiverse people. So this might be a completely different Loki from a completely different time.
Well, they make it sort of builds on what we learned about time travel in the MCU from Avengers Endgame,
aka Back to the Future's bullshit.
Yeah. In that there is, so the TVA was founded by the Timekeepers, who are these almighty beings, allegedly, who after
it's
some
the big hand wave of going, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's literally, don't worry about it. We've got the time lizards.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. They're going to fix it. It's like, we don't want to explain this to you.
So there was a huge multiversal war, and to sort of prevent it from happening again, the Timekeepers took control. And,
where did they come from? Who are they? Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
And they basically established what do they call it? The sacred
timeline.
Sacred timeline, and that's the time. That is the.
That's what we know as time. That's what we know as time.
And then
at least for their timeline, anyway.
Yeah.
At least for this. For all we know, there's a TVA in every reality.
Well,
who deal with their own version of
because they quite offhandedly mentioned, was like, well, what about what the Avengers did? And like, well, they were supposed to do that.
That was meant to happen.
Yeah, they were supposed to do that time travel. That's fine.
And then like he quite rightly goes, well, who's the arbiter of what's supposed to happen, what's not supposed to happen?
The Timekeepers.
The Timekeepers.
Everyone else is like the time lizards, man.
He's actually less Nick Cage than
I think Owen Wilson is really good in this. I think this is the most sort of like restrained and mature I think I've ever seen him in anything.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing the surfer dude thing. To the point where he's got the different facial hair and he's got the greying hair.
Yeah. His hair's no longer a blonde mop.
Yeah, and he looks.
He hasn't said a single. Wow.
He just looked like a detective.
To be fair, it's an interesting casting choice because just looking at the character and the way in which he's presented and the way he's performed, my first thought wouldn't have been like, let's get Owen Wilson in.
Yeah.
It'd have been one of the other Wilsons, if anything.
But I think that's that kind of interesting kind of...
Patrick, you're free?
I do like Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, I would have watched that.
I do like Patrick Wilson.
I do like... It's that kind of stunt casting that could be interesting, where you get someone who is known for a certain thing and then just ask them to do completely the opposite in a big, like, high-profile project that a lot of people...
Or rather, like, similar point, but the opposite end of it. Don't ask them to do the thing they always do. That'll be the thing.
Yeah.
Is that he will, like... He would have. I bet he would have been fucking grateful to not have to say the fucking word "wow" at any point.
Give it time. There's 5 episodes to go.
True.
Yeah, but it's not. I can't see him doing like the surfer wow. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But yeah, interesting, and like, I think there's definitely it's going to be one of those shows where there's a lot more going on than you initially, obviously. And I think what is interesting about it is that there's characters we meet in this episode who seem incidental, but they have character posters of their own.
Well,
So
Gugu Mbatha-Raw is
yes,
the woman at the fucking
judge.
get.
The judge.
And
She's
if you don't know who she is, like, she would seem like such an incidental character, but she's one of the most talented actresses.
Yeah, she's
that
a real...
we being British people
Yeah.
have. Like, she's extraordinary. And she's
Had
got
the-
this incidental part. Like, she's gonna definitely be a bigger thing.
Well,
later.
she's got a character poster. Like, she's really gonna be a bigger player in this. And like, Gugu Mbatha-Raw has had the misfortune to be in some real shitty projects over the last couple of years, because she was almost caught in the sort of...
Oh, terribly
She was
sorry.
almost caught in the sort of whirlpool that was the Cloverfield incident. And thankfully wasn't dragged down with that, because she was leading that. And great in it.
Oh, yeah, superb.
Absolutely not
a great
good
film.
project, and not a good showcase for her. And also, Miss Minutes has a character poster.
That's interesting. Miss Minutes is a
so Miss
throwaway
Minutes is
Mr. DNA kind
Yes, the sort of
character.
animated clock that walks you through the history of the TVA as you're waiting to be judged. Yeah.
In an
She's
incredibly
got a character
Hitchhiker
poster.
scene, by the way. That was
Yes,
so
it's
Hitchhiker's
very
the Galaxy. Hitchhiker's Guide style.
Yeah, there is a lot of Hitchhiker's Guide in this.
Mm.
In that sort of Douglas Adams...
I think earlier in the chat someone compared it to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy meets Sapphire and Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of Sapphire and Steel in this, more than a little bit of Doctor Who in this. The guy with the blue box. Which was a nice little shout out line.
Yes, yeah, yes.
Unless they just really want to showcase the fact that they've got Tara Strong in the show with the Miss Minutes character poster. But there we go. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this on first viewing, and I am excited to see where it goes. What do you reckon, Christoph?
You know what? The fact that it is all set up is kind of what made it work as an opening episode for me, because it didn't really slap us. It just was like, this episode was let's get you in, let's introduce you to our incredibly big concept.
Yeah, I want to show you my incredibly large concept.
I want to whip out my concept, folks, and then let's sell you in. Have you got it? You got it? Good. Okay. The next 5 episodes are where we're gonna play.
Yeah.
Now we've got you on board. We're gonna play, and that's what I really admired about this one. Is like, I now don't know where it's gonna go for the next few weeks. I'm really intrigued as to where it will go, especially because, as well, the trailers. I tried to avoid watching any of the clips they put out, but the trailers especially. We've seen everything, bar a couple of key shots. Like, there's the shots of Loki in his uniform, where he's sort of dressed like Mobius. We know that's still to come. And there's the scene of him, or maybe the other variant. Who knows?
The Bolt Loki sort of inspired
costume, like candidate Loki.
Yeah.
And which is very, very deliberately a callback to a certain comic book arc and cover, especially.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Aside from that, like with WandaVision, I have no idea where this is going to go. I don't know what they're going to do for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. And the idea that the reveal is that the villain is Loki.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, someone in chat just mentioned, who do we think Richard E. Grant's playing? Because Richard E. Grant's in this. We haven't seen him at all in the first episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it? Wait, is he?
Richard E. Grant's in this.
When was that announced?
It's out there.
Guess who's back?
Oh,
Back
Mr. Man.
Back again.
Mr. Man slunk in like
So
a Mr.
who
Man.
do we think?
I mean, who does Richard E. Grant look like an older version of?
That's
Oh
a
God, now
possibility.
you've mentioned
that
it.
is a possibility. I could see that.
It's possible.
Like an older version of Richard E. Grant in the 80s.
My God, he's a genius!
It's a time traveller!
Oh, it's the Whittle and I sequel. Who'd thunk it?
Yeah, Richard E. Grant filmed his original role for the show back in
Yeah.
1985, and he's
Yes.
come back to. Yeah, but that's I hadn't even.
And that's my first and immediate thought, particularly if they haven't announced who he's playing.
Yeah.
True. I mean, because
I'm
the
gonna
Marvel.
have a quick look. while
The
you
Marvel
two
Cinematic Universe
chapter.
does seem to have more than a fetish to putting its actors in digital age or de-aging makeup.
Yeah.
This is true.
But there have
they
been-
also
there have
work
been a
with the
few
TV.
occasions
They're
where
working
they
with a TV budget as well. They're not
True.
They're not.
I mean, it's still a hell of a budget.
Well, exactly, like because who's Howard Stark in the majority of the films?
Oh,
older
your man
yeah.
from
Trevor Slattery. No,
Trev-
not Trevor Slattery. John Slattery.
John Slattery.
Trevor
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 Slattery is an
Slattery's
actor.
the guy. He's the actor in. Yeah.
But then Dominic.
Dominic
Cooper for the
Cooper
Uber.
plays him in Cap and Agent Carter.
Yes.
So they're not against using different actors to play different ages of the character, and they've obviously not been against recasting Ed Norton, Terrence Howard, for example. So
Yes.
and it would also be more of a dramatic and TV budget friendly challenge to have two really good actors play off of each other as the same character.
Well, yeah, because
at
also
different
I'm
ages.
presuming a lot of this was filmed during lockdown anyway.
Yeah.
So the idea of having to spend twice as long, have a crew and a cast on set twice as long in order to accommodate Tom Hiddleston putting on different, like different costume, different makeup, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and then having to film it all over again, like do every single scene twice.
I mean, they do utilise a bit of the old, obviously not this strictly low budget, but like split screen shooting in this to achieve the whole like people being reversed to a moment ago and everything. So
that's some really smart stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went, we're going to choreograph an entire episode where it's just Tom's going to talk to Tom. Well, if you've got Richard E. Grant,
because my only the main thing I'm kind of hanging my hat on here is that they haven't said who was playing.
No,
Yeah.
I've just checked. They haven't.
Like,
there's a couple of there's a few cast members where they're announcing they're in it, but they haven't said they're playing.
the only reason you would do that is either
as a surprise.
like the people filling in the IMDb don't know,
yeah.
or
It's a
Marvel have
really-
intentionally kept it from them.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a really significant comic book character, and they just didn't want to ruin the surprise they're in it.
In which case, who do you think that could be?
Oh, Mephisto.
Ah,
And that
Yeah,
sounds like a bit of a joke after all the WandaVision speculation, and people being like, "Why is it not Mephisto? Like,
Yeah,
why is Evan Peters not Mephisto? Why is he Ralph Boner?"
I
Because
know.
you got worked up about it. That's
That's
why
the problem.
they were playing with you. That was the point.
But that's also the
But,
problem.
but what happened in Ep 1? We've all been told Mephisto, no, calm down, that's not a thing, you all got overworked, don't be daft. And yet, what did the kid in the location in Ep 1?
Oh
Loki
yeah,
point
to
to?
the devil.
They pointed to the devil.
Yeah.
And we're all assuming, oh, what's that? And then by the end of the episode, you go, oh, helmet horns.
Mm.
What if it ain't? What if it's just, no,
what
it's
if
the devil.
actual
Like, we're
yeah.
just going to bring the Marvel's version of
so
the
that's
devil.
what
into this.
Mephisto is then. It's Satan,
He's
basically.
Essentially,
Basically,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, there are several entities that are sort of that led to the inspiration of Satan within the Marvel universe.
it depends on-
Surtur, for example,
Yeah.
big Clancy Brown fire dude with a crown for a face in Thor Ragnarok. Hela,
I like
Hela
him.
is the leader of Hell. She rules the underworld and has big old horns. Like,
yes.
there are various devils in Marvel, but Mephisto's sort of the one where it's like he's got his own dimension. He tortures bad souls in the afterlife, and he makes deals with people. So,
Sure. Okay.
and he's in red pajamas.
Like he's Hades. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Although is there a Hades in the Hercules comics?
They're everyone.
Yeah.
Every mythology in the Marvel universe is true. So
Sure.
yeah, so it's Mephisto's one of those where he's like, oh, he's a version of the devil, and he rules over a version of hell.
Yeah.
But there is also other kinds of hell, like hell with one L that Hela rules over, and also other
Which may or may not have been the
dimensions.
inspiration for
So,
what people
like-
think hell is.
like-
but
How much of the real devil he is depends on A, who's writing, and B, what year it is.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So it's not so much a case of like what I want, say, God of War to be, where it's like, yeah, sure, there's a Vishnu, there's an Allah, there's a Yahweh, there's a Christian God, whatever his Christian name is, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like, they're all just versions of these things.
yes.
They're not strictly speaking. You're not
Well,
like.
yeah. They
like,
never
Allah's not,
go.
Allah's
This
not
is
gonna
the
show up in
confirmation.
Marvel comics
No,
and,
no.
I'm
and fight Hercules, which would be mint.
No, but there is an Allah.
Yeah.
Because all mythology is true.
Yeah, what Marvel's
Oh, and
essentially...
also Kamala Khan is a Muslim character.
Yeah.
So what
Oh,
Marvel...
this is confusing.
what the comics essentially say is, every religion, every mythology, it is true, or at least we're not going to contradict it by saying it isn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but we will
they're
have
not necessarily
archetypes that...
fighting, which
No,
would be
no.
cool.
They have sort of gone into other pantheons
It's like-
other than the Greek and Norse ones on occasion.
Yeah.
But
They're
never,
gonna get like Mars.
yeah, but they tend to
Mars
stay.
versus Apollo. That's a fight I
They
want to
tend
see.
to stay away from the Abrahamic traditions.
Anything
For
that
obvious
anything that
reasons.
peop- anything that
PR
people...
wise,
Yeah,
it's probably
yeah.
a
Anything
nightmare.
Probably best not to fuck around with Islam or Christianity or Judaism.
anything
Let's
that
not go
people
there.
on the planet currently right now believe,
Yeah, they don't.
they
tend
sort
to
of
fuck
say
around with
we're
that
not
stuff.
confirming anything or denying
Although-
anything. Whereas stuff like ancient Greek, ancient Roman kind of belief systems, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, sod it,
Well, they're-
Asgard's real." And
yeah,
but
they're all
here's this, that, and the
dead,
other.
yeah,
in the Thor God of
So the
Thunder.
Egyptians, so there'll be a Ra.
Yeah, the
Oh, there's versions of that. I mean,
Up, yeah.
Apocalypse is tied into all that,
Yeah.
isn't he? Especially.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
I suppose
X-Men
he
Well,
is,
villains.
yeah.
the
I saw that film.
in the Thor God of Thunder,
The first 5
um,
minutes is the best 5 minutes, and then just leave the cinema, go
early
buy a
on-
hot dog. Enjoy
early
your
on
afternoon.
in the Thor God of Thunder comics, they introduced Divinity City,
Yeah.
which is like the sort of spaceborne nexus for all the different pantheons from all the different worlds in the universe, and that's like where they,
Oh yeah, so there'll be like a Martian god.
yeah, so every planet has its that the sort of first arc of Thor God of Thunder really delves into that idea of each planet and each race having its own pantheon, because that is where Gore the God Butcher is introduced, and that's his whole raison d'etre, is going and killing all the gods.
Who we're getting
across
in
who
Love and
Christian
Thunder.
Bale is playing in Love and Thunder.
And if
Who's
Russell
playing
Crowe
that?
and if
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. And
Oh,
if,
so Christian Bale's not playing.
He's not
Beta
Ray
Bale.
Bale. No.
and if Russell
sadly.
Crowe is to be
Ah.
believed, Zeus is in that
Yeah,
movie.
Russell Crowe apparently
So
playing Zeus.
they're about to start
Alright.
dipping
yeah.
a toe into the Greek pantheon.
Because
So-
he's getting to that age as well, where it's like, yeah, you are pretty old.
And you can grow a
Oh,
beard.
that's
That'll
fucked.
do.
Because Neeson's done it,
Yeah.
Rip Torn's done it,
Sean Bean's done it.
Scene Bean.
Sunburn. Ah, my old friend Sunburn.
Sunburn.
Cinnabon.
Cinnabon.
That would have been a very, very baller move. They'd somehow been able to get, but obviously because Rip Torn's obviously no longer with us. If they'd been like, if they'd done this earlier, had this kind of big muscle boy with a big old beard, and just dub him with Rip Torn, and just connect
well,
Hercules, the Disney movie.
They could have done what they did with David Thewlis in Wonder Woman and just put David Thewlis' face on a big muscly body,
yeah, make it look really, really odd.
which they do again in Zack Snyder's Justice League in the flashback stuff, and it looks really odd there
Yeah,
as
see
well.
him post a selfie on his Instagram.
Yeah.
About that. David Thewlis on Instagram. If you're not following David Thewlis on Instagram, please do, because he's great. And also he has this ongoing fake rivalry with Chris Eccleston where they both take the piss out of each other with Instagram stories.
They exist in a very kind of similar place in my mind.
Yeah.
Like they're like
I mean,
imagine
they've
they're
both
very similar
played
people.
weirdly botched versions of classic comic book villains in modern comic book movies as
That's-
well.
No, I just
There's
mean,
another parallel.
like because I've seen like have you ever seen the film Naked?
I've
Yes,
never seen Naked,
yes,
but
I've seen it.
Which is
I'm aware of it.
Thewlis.
Mm.
But
It's alright,
every
I'm aware
time
of
I
this
think
thing,
back on it, it's Eccleston's face.
Do you think Thewlis was in Shallow Grave? You just sort of switched them out.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
kind of are interchangeable.
At that
in a
point in their
strange sort of
careers, I
way.
think they were very similar, yeah. And they're both very sort of like capable of being weirdly intense
Yeah.
without necessarily doing much.
I don't even know if
Um,
Thewlis is Mank, but I've got him in that kind of like.
He's northern, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's
Thewlis?
northern. Let me double check.
I've just got like they just for whatever reason like there are a bunch of actors that seem to sort of come in pairs like that, where I'll just pop them in
No,
the
I
same
totally
place
get
in my
you.
brain.
I totally get you.
Philip Glenister and David Morrissey.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, he's from Blackpool. David Thewlis is from Blackpool.
Oh,
Oh,
there
she's
you
from the
go.
northwest.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
And there's no David Thewlis action figures in here, so...
Because
we can't
because
share
what would
it.
it be? The werewolf? That would be it, wouldn't it?
Probably. I mean, there's a lot of Chris Ecclestons in here.
Do you have any more
But
fizzy
they-
down there, Chris?
We do have more fizz.
Let's have some more fizz.
Let's check the chat really briefly before we carry on with the Loki chat.
Oh, can I see?
Earful of Emma is with us. It is Emma's birthday, by the way.
I saw that. Yeah.
So
Then
happy
we shall
chuffing
toast
happy
toast
to
to
birthday.
thee.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
toast
once
to
I've got a
thee.
drink, I will raise it to you.
It'll raise a glass, you bet your ass.
Okay.
Raise your glass.
Mayhew.
Okay,
Yes,
you're gonna have to
for
tell
you.
me what do the pictures mean?
The pictures
They're just-
will
they're just
confuse
emojis.
things.
Is that,
Don't worry
is
about
that
it.
if I scroll? Oh no, it doesn't scroll on that as well. So there's I think that's
For
Bruce
those,
Forsyth.
for those listening at home, Charlie's introducing himself to
Yeah,
technology.
no, I'm an occasional viewer of Twitch. This is the first time user of Twitch.
Long time viewer, first time popper
Yeah,
honor.
It's Poggers.
It's Poggers, yeah.
Okay. Which one was the David Bowie looking one?
Oh, that'd be
What's that
Death.
a reference to?
That'd be whoever's hell or devil or whatever.
What in the what?
It's
in
American Gods, isn't it?
The, of the
No,
Marvel-
Sandman. No.
No,
David
because Death in Sandman
Bowie.
is a perky looking goth
He
chick.
looks
Yes.
like death.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is actually that's something that got cast like very
It is.
recently, Sandman.
Yes.
Yes.
Which looks fucking cool. And also,
It is shooting now.
it's the
I believe,
first time
yeah.
I've ever seen this, and I think it's absolutely boss that they did it because they didn't pay any mind to it.
The
They just
casting
went-
page, yeah.
Yeah, they've just got the
Pronouns.
headshots of the
Yeah.
actor,
Yeah.
the person they're playing, the name of the actor themselves, and then just their preferred pronoun.
Mm.
And like they didn't go, we look at us
Yeah.
Pride Month. Like it was just that's just the way we're doing it now.
They just added
And
it.
yeah, and I think there was only they
Anyone
they go for-
anyone doing a write-up piece about the casting has no excuse. There
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. There's your
and
information.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's it just
Normalise it.
because the
Yeah.
thing was like the vast majority of that cast on that sheet, their pronouns were as they presented. If that is
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
is that
yeah.
English?
Yeah.
But
Chewie,
at the same point, it's like it just it not democratizes it just
normalises
it
it. Yeah,
normalizes the whole thing.
Like how Instagram recently added pronouns as an
Yeah.
option. Where you
Yeah,
could just,
yeah.
They're just there, you can put them in.
Yeah.
They're part of the layout, and they didn't make a thing of like, we're making it. It was like, just, you know, you can add your
Yeah,
pronouns now.
yeah.
It was like,
it's
well
not,
done,
it's not a
Instagram.
big deal.
But happy birthday, Emma!
Happy birthday,
Slander!
Emma!
Cheers to
Hey.
you, I guess. And then
Yaldi!
Dink.
Cheers to all.
dink to the lens.
But yes, no, Chewie's saying there was a version of the devil in one of the comics that was basically based on Bowie. You're thinking of either Lucifer from Neil Gaiman's Sandman or Lucy from Kieran Gillen's Wicked and the Divine.
I've never read that.
I only read the first couple of issues.
And I like Kieran Gillen a lot.
It's very good.
Especially their work on Journey into Mystery, writing for
Loki!
He did it! He
Very
did it!
good.
What more can we say? What more can we say about Loki? Must we go tropical?
Do we think that what are they called? The beings that were in charge of it?
Variants.
Timekeepers.
The
Oh,
timekeepers.
timekeepers.
Do we think they exist?
What do you mean?
Well, all we ever see is statues, and
Yeah.
everyone keeps saying, no, the timekeepers are in charge.
Oh,
Timekeepers are
the
in charge."
lizard people.
Are
Yeah.
we about to
Loki's
get? Are we
very
going to get a
insistent,
rug
yeah.
pull at some point where it's like all of this is bullshit?
Loki's very insistent on that being bullshit, isn't it? And he'd be interested if he gets proved right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because also if it's just like this thing that we told you through some weird like Jurassic Park style cartoon,
Yeah.
it turns out to be exactly as we said. That would be just inherently as a storytelling thing. That would just fundamentally be less interesting than
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily think.
Although, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but apparently this has been re-upped for a season 2.
huh.
But yeah, no, but it doesn't necessarily have to follow the same
No,
thing at all. It doesn't have to be a weird time thing at all. Like
it just has to be about Loki.
It just has to be about Loki, and I think there is enough goodwill and fan support that just following Tom Hiddleston around
People fucking
whilst
love
he
Tom
says
Hiddleston, yeah.
you minging minge,
Mewling Quinn.
minging minge,
You whinging fanny.
you vagina,
You minging minge.
you vaginaing minge.
Oh, nobody has pillow talk quite like you, Charles.
I love.
Ladies.
I'd love if they never link it back. Keep him there. So as far as the people who just follow the film,
Oh, he just exists in a third timeline of his
Yeah.
own.
basically Coulson, but people are watching. So
Right.
like, you know what I mean? It's like Loki should never come back to the films.
Yeah, because that's interesting.
Like, he should be
do
done
you
now
think?
in the
Do you think?
films.
Do you
Yeah.
they
think?
I
mention
think so.
Coulson.
Yes.
They reference
Him dying.
They reference him dying, but
But
they
not
don't
him coming
reference him
back.
coming back
Yeah.
because Agents of Shield is
'Cause-
kind of non-canon now.
No, but also Loki doesn't need to know that.
Oh, so Loki doesn't.
Like,
need to
it
know.
doesn't
But I
change
think-
his life at all
I
to
think
find
it
out
would-
he's still alive.
I think it would have helped. What?
And technically, he's not still alive.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Is it?
What is he a robot?
He's like a Kree clone meets an
he,
LMD.
no,
meets...
he is. They did.
Oh,
They
that's, yeah,
literally
but
brought him back to
wasn't
life.
Wasn't he being prepped for this?
What's an
without him
LMD?
knowing?
Life
Life
model
model
decoy.
decoy. Nick
I
Fury.
hate
Nick Fury.
you. I hate you both.
Nick Fury uses them a lot. They're basically lifelike robots that you send off to do something, and if you know you're going to get killed, they can deal with it.
No, but they show in like the second season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they use like really advanced surgical techniques plus like stuff developed from Kree DNA to literally bring him back from the dead.
Okay, fair enough. Because the Kree play a big part in seasons like 3 and 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, like
there's an awful lot of the Kree in there.
The Kree,
it's alright.
Kree
1 second, I'm just going to go and kiss my wife live.
Do that. Like Kree DNA is like used as like a regenerative.
It's a Lazarus pit.
Yeah, like an injection thing. So you find out there's like a pretty harrowing shot where he's having a flashback of like this weird machine sort of rebuilding his neural pathways while he's still awake because they're literally bringing his back, like reanimating his corpse and starting to rework his brain.
I don't like it, and I don't think Disney did either. Yeah, so they shit canned that whole thing.
It went for like 6 seasons, but I think by the end of it they were like, "Yeah, we're not worrying about tying."
Well, then that's tied with the fact that there's only so much you could do. I bet it was fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon becomes persona non grata.
Well, he was only really involved with the first season.
He sort of established it and then buggered off.
He's like a credited member of the
I think he was always
a show up by Joss Whedon.
He was always a marquee executive producer.
Yeah. And if not enough people are paying attention, because they will have the data for all this stuff. Like, how many people are like? Because obviously, the films breaking crazy records, like millions of people watching these things. The ratio between people seeing the films versus seeing this TV show. Yeah. Obviously, there's going to be a huge drop off. Yeah. But the drop off is even steeper. So why even bother with this thing anymore?
No, totally. But you should know there's someone out there you're making a YouTube video going, "Why didn't they mention that Phil Coulson is still alive in Loki?"
For the same reason they not brought him up in the films. Yeah. Different departments, and it doesn't matter.
For the same reason that the Joker doesn't say that he. What's the weird thing? He's like saying, "I wanked him off." Or whatever. what's that like old timey phrase?
Wait till they get a load of my latest
my boner. My boner. It's the same reason why Heath Ledger doesn't say,
wanked him off.
It's something to do with dicks.
Why did you go there? Why is that where you went?
Because I'm sorry, is the leap from boner to wanking such a huge leap for you?
I have that book in this room.
No, it's a very short distance indeed. But
so like the same reason why Mark Hamill isn't going, "This is why I'm showing him my boner." It's like because shit moves on. Like it's like they kill him. It doesn't matter. And Batman doesn't use a gun anymore because it was shit and no one liked it.
Get rid of it. Die. Kill it if you have to.
Or just kill it by default.
Hey, this one's for you, Kylo.
Yeah,
kill it by default.
I mean, it's a choice quote from a film that may also need to be.
What, Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I liked Last Jedi. I think it's the best of the 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That quote's from Last Jedi.
But I also think that within our lifetime, all 3 of them in the bin. Just stick them in the bin.
I don't know.
Forget it.
I'd like to.
Rise of Skywalker, definitely.
I'd like to permanently.
Rise of Skywalker was
like I know. This isn't a judgment on quality necessarily. It's a judge on the cultural permutation of Star Wars as a thing. Those original 3, they have permeated to a point of permanence. They're unshakable. They're unmovable. You can't do anything to them now.
Yeah.
The prequels with all of the spin-off stuff, they're doing their best to try and like make good on all that stuff.
And to be fair, Clone Wars is apparently doing a lot of
that. Which I hear. And so it's kind of legitimizing, but then also reducing the sort of stock of those prequels just by virtue of being better than them.
Yes.
Yeah.
These sequel films, despite the fact that I like 2 of the 3 of them, one of which I like a lot, I don't think it's permeated nearly enough, and I think that within our lifetime, they'll become completely irrelevant.
They'll be Ghostbusters 2016.
I haven't seen that.
We got all worked up about it in various degrees for various reasons, different people, different opinions. But look at us now, 5 years later, no one talks about that movie.
We're not getting away from Star Wars content anytime soon. There is going to be multiple pieces of Star Wars content.
I mean, there's a plush Grogu next to you. That's going to stare at me forever.
I think
not in the cinema.
I don't think any of them are really going to engage with the sequel trilogy era. Really, I think the closest we'll get is more like Mandalorian era stuff, where it's like early days of the New Republic.
Because when is that?
Like,
That's just after Return.
That's about 5 years post-Return. Like, the New Republic's been established, the Empire's all but gone. Post-Battle of Jakku, so it's like there's no real Empire. The First Order are off somewhere, sort of forming.
When you think though, just what their game plan was, what Disney's game plan was, we're going to keep doing numbered sequels yearly or every 2 years.
No, they were only ever going to do
spin off. We're going to do so we have our solos. We
have
our Rogue Ones.
Yeah, to be fair, a couple of the shows we're getting now were meant to be film releases.
Within 2 of those films, within 2 years, 3 years, all of that stopped.
Well, I think we've said this before. This is that you can just see the difference between the Lucasfilm arm and the Marvel arm of just how they're run.
Yeah,
like the Marvel department. Yeah,
it has made mistakes and it has cocked up along the way.
There is valid criticism in there, in that there is such. There is very much the same DNA running through all the films. Some people think to a detriment, but I think
there's a certain homogenization of it.
Yes.
But it's beneficially so because it keeps things consistent.
It keeps things more or less of a consistent quality. When you think of the lowest dips of the MCU films-wise quality, you've got like Iron Man 2, which is a bit too long and a bit bloated, and Thor: The Dark World, which is a bit too long.
And also in retrospect,
since they've mined it for all its actual emotional
in Loki, they return back to that and they make a point of going, this is something that's important. It felt like a kind of make good.
After Endgame spends almost its entire runtime going, no, Thor: The Dark World was important.
Yeah.
And here's why. And mostly because Marcus and McFeely wrote both of them, so they wanted to be like, hang on.
Well, let's also be honest. Like the main
Thor's mum's death and all this stuff is important, guys.
The main problem with
the
main problem with Thor: The Dark World isn't the story.
No, the main problem is Game of Thrones was popular on the planet at the time, so they went, get a Game of Thrones director, and we're going to make it look like Game of Thrones. And we're going to change it so that Malekith is just basically generic warlord villain instead of what he is in the comics, which is an evil, like, nasty, violence-loving, like, dark elf trickster character, and we're going to put more emphasis on Loki because he was popular in Avengers, so we're going to do more of that. And
because to be honest, I bet they had to do a lot of reworking because I don't know if any one of the people working at Disney or Marvel at that point could have foreseen how popular Loki would have been.
No way. But
so
he's one of the very few comic book villains in movie franchises to be recurring as well. I think about it. A lot of comic book movie franchises, the villains are either a one-off or they're killed off in their initial film.
Absolutely.
And yet Loki's been in
even in Marvel stuff,
4, 5 films, five movies
because he is so popular.
Yeah.
But we're going back to that thing of like, there is a homogenization in the Marvel stuff.
I don't mean it in a negative though.
No, because it helps. It is often leveled as a criticism, and I totally get people who are just like, this Marvel film is just the same as all the rest. I'm like, isn't quite, but I get what you mean. I'm like, it's not for you, fine, cool. But it is the sort of the cynical part of Disney being like, if we make everything, and you see it in their animation particularly, if we make everything kind of homogenous, that's fine, but we're always going to get a baseline level of quality. And people will keep coming back for stuff if it is at least a certain level of quality. Yes, we can flood the market with shit, but we did that with the VHS stuff, and it didn't work.
Now, and even if it did, that market isn't the same. Like you don't with the mid-90s. That was an environment where you could stick a load of like half-baked VHSs on shelves, and if you stick Aladdin on it, people will buy it. But we don't live in that world anymore. You can't get away with it. And Disney's already flirted with bankruptcy in our lifetime. And it's not. I don't think it's a mistake they're going to be making again.
Well, they still do that in the sense of slapping a name on something and expecting it to sell. But what they've learned is they have to make that at least a certain baseline level of quality for people to buy it, and then come back for more. Which is what they've done so well with the MCU stuff. Is that you've got those early wobbles, but since then. Really, I think people.
I think from Captain America onwards, it's been more or less flawless.
Yeah, I mean, Age of Ultron.
No, sorry, wait. Yeah,
Age of Ultron's got problems.
There is.
I think we all live in the universe where we're like, but as much as I enjoyed it, I kind of want to see the Edgar Wright version of Ant-Man, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, no, totally.
Like, there's still
Having rewatched Ant-Man and its sequel both recently, I think Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp are they're really great.
Oh, they're so much fun, aren't they?
Yeah, which I would love to see Edgar Wright's version of it.
Pun absolutely intended. They work great because they're one of the very few movies in that franchise now that was very small scale.
Yeah.
Like, it's cosmic threat, but only for these people in this small circumstance. Something which I'd like the Spider-Man movies to be a bit more like. But, you know.
Those movies,
well, I recently rewatched Baby Driver, and Edgar Wright and Scott Pilgrim actually not long before, and Edgar Wright is so good at style.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Like, stylish boy.
He's an incredibly stylish filmmaker.
And even if it doesn't have to make sense necessarily,
Nope.
it doesn't have you can kind of just go what, but it's like that looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Scott Pilgrim is a testament to that in every frame.
Yeah.
I still don't think I don't think I've seen editing better done in Scott Pilgrim other than possibly Baby Driver.
Yeah.
The way in which that cuts, and the way in which music is used, I don't think it's been bettered since, what was that, 2010?
And that, I think,
Baby Driver.
Scott.
All right. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I already feel old.
Yes.
I don't think Baby Driver is
stylistically,
because
Edgar Wright is such a strong director, I think the directors that work better within the MCU framework are directors who are a bit more flexible with their style and a bit more for hire.
Yeah,
not that they're not stylish directors.
Or in the likes of, say, James Gunn, more like sort of, but it's my story, right?
Yeah.
Well, and
like,
also,
like Taika Waititi, like, it's my story.
Guardians of the Galaxy had the benefit of not having
anything anyone expected of him.
No matter what he did, it wouldn't directly contradict or confirm anything that was going on elsewhere, just by virtue of it being light years away.
Yeah. But I think also the only adaptation I can think of them even having before that anyone could compare it to is them showing up some episodes of Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah,
and
that would have been foreshadowing. That would have been succeeding for
the film because they knew
they would have already known that was in development back then. But also,
Rocket's got a Cockney accent in that show.
Nice, but there's a world in which. There are directors who are not going to work particularly well. There are directors who are not going
I've got Edgar Wright tits.
They're not going to work. I'm reading them.
They're not going to work particularly well in that framework, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that the homogenization of those films is a bad thing because they are all of a franchise.
Yeah, it's a TV show.
You've got no one doing that on the Star Wars end of it, and it shows.
Yeah.
Which is weird considering they have a fucking archival team.
Yeah.
To keep stuff consistent and story relevance and all this stuff.
Completely in Rise of Skywalker. The story group were just steamrolled for that movie because it was an entire movie of going back and saying, actually, no, what we want to do is this, and we're going to ignore everything that we've been building up to this point, which is why that fell apart because there's no supervising influence over the Star Wars. Part of the company, which there is for Marvel. The closest you've got to it now is Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are sort of shepherding the Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah, your Mandalorian, your Book of Boba Fett,
I think that's why they're focusing on that because they've done the movies and they've gone right. We haven't got a Kevin Feige equivalent.
The internet has just automatically decided that Kathleen Kennedy must be that, hence why she's become
I think she's been the head of Lucasfilm for some time.
Yeah,
so that's a fair
it's true, but unlike Kevin Feige, I think she's more running the Lucasfilm legacy rather than running the films. Whereas Kevin Feige seems to be a producer who's like, oh, I've got a hand in everything.
I think the difference is that
he sat down for years watching Avi Arad make all the weird decisions and went, I'm going to do what he does, but not the weird part of it.
Wait, now you can do it. You're in the room finally.
Yeah.
Avi Arad. Avi Arad. Avi Arad. Avi Arad. Avi Arad. And I was here for it! I was here! Yay!
He wears a Venom beanie. He probably smells obscene.
I think the problem... It's difficult to say without knowing them better than I do on the public personas, but it seems to me that Kevin Feige is a producer who wants to tell stories.
Yeah.
And understands that if he tells good stories that are connected, that will keep people watching his stories.
Yes.
Because this is all a business thing. This is all about making money.
Well, yeah, but this isn't unique to Marvel either. The film industry, any industry, the bottom line is to make money, because otherwise you're not going to get a chance to make anything else anyway.
But that's what I mean, is that Kevin Feige is one of the producers who and he's not, again, not unique to Marvel, he's not the only producer who does this, but he understands that...
the only one who does it with a regular schedule.
Making movies that are interconnected, that tell good stories, are going to keep people coming back for more good stories. Yeah. Where I think Kathleen Kennedy's probably more the financially led, where they're like, each movie, all right, how much money can we bring out of this movie? And then when we've got all of it, we move on to the next movie. She doesn't think, like, if I can, or if we can, or she's just not story-minded. So she doesn't think that if we can link these together and keep them consistent and keep them of consistent quality, go for this, sort of planning ahead 5 years, then it can work. Well, I think that's the problem that they had. That's why it didn't work.
Well, it also felt way more strangely reactionary.
Oh yeah,
like which is not the kind of thing that Marvel seems to be doing either. Like they seem to have their umbrella of like, these are the major story beats we're gonna do. Like, so the whole like, we're gonna go back in time and fix the Thanos problem. Yep. Like the big stuff, like that's already like written in stone. But then the rest of it you can kind of work around them maybe a little more. Whereas the Lucasfilm stuff, it felt like from film to film they were kind of just going, I guess people don't like that. Let's completely change course in film too.
That's the entire reason that Rise of Skywalker ended up the way it did.
Colin Trevorrow had a film. Colin Trevorrow had a film. For whatever reason, he leaves it, and then J.J. Abrams and co. come in to recover it, and immediately whatever plans were in place based on the leaked script that's supposedly a thing, etc., they went, people didn't like Last Jedi for these reasons. Let's retcon those things in this movie, and this film will be about making everyone feel better. Instead of this film will tell a satisfying third final chapter to a story based on the first two as they stand. Yeah. It's really... I did not enjoy Last Jedi. I respect it a lot. It's not a film for me. It does things I really kind of felt didn't sit right with me with the characters.
That was just stuff you don't come to Star Wars for necessarily.
Yeah, and yet I respect it. I think it's a very well-made movie. And the fact that Rise of Skywalker tried to appeal to me rather than the story that had been established.
Yeah. Fool,
made me
trying to appeal
to like, I'm an idiot. And they went, no, don't worry about it.
Come back to us, idiots.
Come to this. And I was like, no, go with the choices you made. I would rather, and that was very...
Go with Matt and Charles, the smart boys.
If you're going to depart from what you think people want, see it through and change, and like try and change their minds and try and be like, no, this is the story I was trying to tell. Here's why.
Well, it also betrayed how there is absolutely no purity of vision over there. It is just, we'll give Trevorrow this script based on like maybe Jurassic Park. I don't know
Jurassic World.
Was that what he'd done?
Yeah. Jurassic World, which came off the back of Safety Not Guaranteed.
But this is what I'm saying is that so the Lucasfilm go, Trevorrow, he'll write this thing. And then you go, the thing gets made, the thing comes out, and then they go, oh, that's not what we want. It's like, well, what? You should know what you're wanting.
It was Book of Henry. Like he made Jurassic World and we'll get that guy to do our big tentpole movie, and then he makes Book of Henry, which no one likes. They go, maybe we shouldn't make our big tentpole movie, and then they just go, would run like headless chickens, not knowing what to do, and say, J.J. Abrams, the person who's never successfully concluded a story, come and conclude our story. And what does J.J. Abrams go? He goes and completely fucks up the conclusion of the story. Because that's what J.J. Abrams does. Don't trust him.
But also don't give him... because he's not being given a film to make; he's been given a mess to clean up.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same thing.
Or he's decided it's a mess to clean up.
Well, no, the Lucasfilm have, because they wouldn't have hired him to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, they have.
Like it was going in a direction, and you can feel it.
Oh, the ending of Last Jedi. The ending of Last Jedi. The very last shot is a kid.
Yeah.
Random kid force summoning a broom into their hand like it's no big deal, and giving you that message that, oh my god,
the universe is bigger than this.
The universe is bigger than this family drama. And then the next one goes, JK lol. No, that's not what happened. You're like, hang on, what about that kid? What about that kid?
You are Daisy Skywalker.
You are the eventual outcome of a Palpatine who fucks.
Just why?
Let Ian McDiarmid?
Yes.
Let him sleep.
He seemed like he was having a lot of fun, to be fair.
No. I'm sure he did. But like him having fun and me having fun are not the same thing.
Yeah,
I was not
totally.
having fun.
But I think
let the man rest.
He took the job just so they could do the Fortnite tie-in, so his grandkids would think he was cool.
To be fair, the problem wasn't entirely the lack of focus, because Carrie Fisher passing away fucked up a lot of the plans they had for that movie.
Sure.
Like, it really fucked them up.
But
delay the film then.
Yeah,
delay.
They should have done that. They should have done that.
Like push it back a year.
Yeah.
Or
You
during the last
you could have fixed it.
Or during the Last Jedi's edit, make a bold decision and decide the moment where she is supposedly killed off. Kill her off. It would be horrible.
It was already out, wasn't it?
Because she was dead. She was dead by the point.
Afterwards.
No, when Last Jedi came out, she had died by the time I saw it.
Yeah.
In the cinema.
Oh yeah, because it was over the Christmas. It was Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was like the week it came out or something.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
So they could have made a change.
Oh, so it was already in rotation at that point.
I can't recall, but put it this way.
Because that would be unusual.
Put it this way.
If
they
recall the film.
No, it
they
wasn't.
deliver those movies.
I think
like
Princess Leia returned to her home planet
because it had in honor of our princess at the end of it. I think.
But the film had been made already.
Yeah, but I think there was enough of a gap for the film to.
I don't want to check
I can't even remember.
Chat. When did Carrie Fisher pass away? What year did she pass away?
And when did Last Jedi come out?
December 2017.
Were they the same? December 2017.
December 2017. They're Christmas movies. December 2017.
Because Rise of Skywalker came out in 2017.
2019.
No, it's not Rise of Skywalker. Sorry, the other one.
Last Jedi was 2017.
The first one.
2015.
Force Awakens was 2015.
Force Awakens was 2015.
Was it 2015?
Because 2015 slate looked
I
like
2015
slate looked like the most exciting slate in mainstream cinema. Here we go. So she passed away in 2016. So
a full year before the film came out.
Yeah,
so
that was it, because Rogue One was last second dedicated to her.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because Rogue One came out 2016. We had Force Awakens 2015, Rogue One 2016, Last Jedi 2017, Solo 2018, Rise of Skywalker.
So she died a full year before Last Jedi came out, so they could have fixed it.
They could have fixed it with reshoots. And everyone would have been like, oh my god, that sucks, but the whole point of it is the shock value would have worked. I mean, they kill off Akbar in that scene and they make nothing of it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a trap.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, because all the stuff with her in that movie after that is great. But
it was a trap. It was been a trap the whole time.
But by the same time, I think you would have had to, if you wanted to make the Rise of Skywalker make sense without Carrie Fisher, you would have had to kill her off screen. You would have had to do it in between movies.
Yeah.
And just explain it. And
that's a bummer.
It's a bummer, but by not trying to face that.
And also getting a daughter to stand in and do face mapping.
They only did that for that flashback scene.
But still, it looks shit.
It looks shit.
It's bad.
And it's bad and it's not good. And they said they weren't going to do it and they still did it. Even if it was only for one scene.
Yeah.
But
because when you've got more money than God, for something like that to look shit, you can get in the fucking sea. Don't do it. The
problem is that they had 2 years to
accommodate for her death.
Well, no. The problem is they had 2 years to pre-produce and shoot Force Awakens, and then another 2 years to do Last Jedi. They got themselves into such a fucking mess that they only had a year to write and shoot and edit and post production.
Well, why?
Because they had to hit that 2019 thing.
Why?
I know.
I'm not saying they have to do this. Don't do it. It's Disney. If they miss a Christmas release 1 year, they're not going to go bankrupt now, are they?
But who consistently shifts release dates in accordance with things changing all the time? The Marvel Studios. Because they understand that you have to deliver. No one involved with Rise of Skywalker saw the assembly cut or the rough cut of that before it finished post-production and went, well, we've done it again. No one! You can't be that blind!
This is a cultural touchstone.
You're all filmmakers, the cast knew it! It's like the fucking Game of Thrones
when
thing.
the fucking Emilia Clarke just going, it's the best one yet.
Everyone involved with that was like, we
so sorry.
fucked this. We have fucked it. And then you've got Benioff and Weiss going, can we have our Star Wars trilogy now? And Disney go, no. So it's...
So that was our review of Loki.
It just shocks me. It just shocks me. It is weird seeing me while I rant. This is very true.
Oh
yes,
dear.
sequel talk, Geeks. We got into sequel talk, but it's okay because now we're gonna do emails.
Oh wait, can I before you get started on that, can I ask my question because
Oh.
Yes, please do.
Oh.
because
Straight up.
I may need my phone which
Oh.
I left.
Charlie's gonna get his
I
technockery.
need my technockery.
He's gonna get his
Oh,
technockery.
get your technockeries out.
So basically, we as gentlemen,
We gentlemen.
we are,
Debatably.
we are.
Charles?
Oh, please, sir. We are artistically minded. We are gentlemen of the arts.
Yeah.
We like.
Gentlemen of the piss arts.
We like stories. We like the way in which they're told. We like, the recorded mediums. We like live mediums.
Oh fuck! What's coming up?
Oh, wow.
And there is only one specific medium that combines the two in a really interesting way. That is sorry. Do forgive me. I've got to take this.
Okay.
Oh, Charles is he's busy boy. Sorry, everyone. That was interesting. Okay, no, I thought he was going to ask us a question, but I guess he's
Play Metallica. I don't care.
busy there. Yeah.
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
For
by
Whom the Bell
Metallica.
Tolls by
Stick it
Metallica.
on your Spotify right now.
Yeah.
Listen along.
Do buy it. Do buy it right now. For
They'll be cutting our audio on Twitch now, like they did to actual Metallica.
I know,
Playing
right?
their own songs.
That was mad. That was so weird that they
very
did that.
Strange.
Especially because it was a Twitch event too, as well.
Yeah.
It's like you think Twitch would have been like,
Mm.
maybe we should lift it for just a second. Chat saying, King says I'm on edge for Charlie's question.
What is Charlie changing into? Well, he's at a very, very delicate part of life. He's getting hair in strange places.
Yeah! What you gonna do, brothers? Sorry, keep this PG. What you gonna do?
So, for those listening to the podcast and not seeing the video, we currently have Lucha Charlie in full-on mask cape and leotard with his championship belt.
You have Charlie, the Destroyer de Melo, one half of the tag team champions, the Brothers of Seduction. He is here, he is present, and his entrance music is going off.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
Charlie, can I ask you a question?
you can ask me a question?
Was
Charlie
that
the
leotard
Destroyer
on underneath your clothes?
It's been on my clothes the entire time.
How warm have you been?
I've been very warm. It doesn't release heat very easily. Oh, hang on. I am wearing a cape. Let me.
According to chat, this sums up the BDC,
So hang on. There
and
we go.
ever.exe has stopped working.
There we go. Get my cape on.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
So,
Fuck me sideways.
wrestling, my boys,
Oh my
Wrestling.
God.
as you well know,
Oh
is
my God.
the peak of entertainment.
It is
It is the best of live and recorded mediums. of
sports
recorded arts.
entertainment. Yeah.
Yes, it is the best of those things.
Yeah.
So my question to you both is that I have my character in place. I have my title over my shoulder. I'm ready to begin my long journey towards Vince McMahon's House of Slams. And
Yes, you are.
the question I pose to you both now,
Yeah.
I want you to pitch me individually
Can't take you seriously wearing that fucking mask.
your wrestling persona, your character.
I already have a wrestling persona.
I want
Yeah.
a kind of brief summary of who this person is, what their deal is. I want a finishing move. I want entrance music, and I want a storyline pitch for you two to feud, and what your blow-off match
All right.
stipulation is going to be.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I already have a wrestling character.
Oh.
I did not know.
Going back to my Blockbuster days, when I was working at Blockbuster and studying musical theatre, and was doing ballet regularly and wore unitards on the regs. And one of the guys who was working there, he found a song by a band called Pork Belly, and the song is called Mr. Irresistible, which then became my nickname.
Mr. Irresistible.
At Blockbuster. I'll see if I can find the song. And so Mr. Irresistible.
Oh, so the song is that your entrance music isn't simply irresistible.
No.
I mean that'd be one hell of you'd be setting a promise. You'd be setting a bar.
And it would deliver.
Absolutely.
I've
seen him in a leotard.
Have you seen this magnificent man?
I mean,
seen him in leotards.
I don't think it's a proper. I think it was like a weird little fucking indie band that he had, like indie rock band.
How many people in the chat are admiring my title?
So
the chat exploded, by the way.
Are there enough people?
I am in fact Mr. Irresistible, and I am the sexiest, most tender hunk of meat you will ever embrace.
Oh,
I like it.
I am the big boss of seduction. I am large and in charge of your heart. And let me tell you, once I get you in my tight embrace, I will make you taste the fucking mat.
Oh!
Yes! Magnificent!
I have a submission finisher. And it's the face sit fountain.
Move over, Rikishi.
You're gonna get a backflip of glorious weighty cheeks onto those waiting lips, and you're gonna beg for breath before the end.
Excellent. And so I wanted to hear about the feud, but I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna have that as a joint question. So Chris,
oh shit,
who is your character? Who are you? Why would you be fighting? Possibly, why would you be fighting for a title just like this?
People say war. Huh. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? The answer has always been absolutely nothing.
Mr. Irresistible agrees.
Which is why...
the Lord of Large Love.
Which is why Captain Passivity will stand the test of time. When the fight is done, when the dust has finally settled and everyone is bathed in each other's blood, the man who never lifts a finger will be there, in the rubble, sat on his couch, drinking his beer, completely fine. Captain Passivity, a man who makes not even love, but still no war, will bamboozle you with how weirdly chilled out he is about the whole thing. Captain Passivity, coming soon to an inflatable novelty chair near you.
So Captain Passivity and the Lord of Love,
Mr.
Irresistible. Why are you fighting, for one thing? That's question one. Or like question 1A. And question 1B, when it comes to the big blow-off match, the thing that's going to stop this feud and help you move on to the next step of your career, what would that be? There has to be a stipulation, because presumably the feud is going to be so white-hot.
Mr. Irresistible does not simply blow off challenges.
Oh.
He takes them in to his beefy arms.
As
the monarch.
Testify.
The monarch of massive mounds
Preach.
of love. Passivity cannot be endured. We need to come together, hand in hand down pants. And we must perform the firmest foreplay.
Preach.
And we must banish war with the making of the loudest laugh. I cannot brook your nonsense, Captain Passivity. Is that even a rank?
For a man who's apparently irresistible, you can't help but be tractor beamed toward a milieu of rage and unnecessary anger, my friend. Hey, lovemaking has evolved in the years since you were squeezed out between the wrestling mother's downstairs folds. Nowadays, we Netflix and chill, my brother. We need not fight. Come on in. I've got a bowl of knickknacks, assorted flavours. I'd like to surprise you, but not too much. Come on in. We don't need to fight. Hey, get yourself cozy. I'll let you pick the film. I'll let you pick which part of the couch you lay on. And then, when you least suspect it, I'll bring out some more food, because, I mean, we've got another film.
Netflix and chill is only ever hot with me.
You clearly don't own an electric blanket, my friend.
I own every kind of blanket on every kind of bed.
As Charlie the Demolo Destroyer, I've heard what both of you have said this day, and I approve. I've heard tales of love and tales of battle, and my loins are radiating heat.
I can feel it.
And I wish to see you either make sweet love or do violent battle. But because this is a wrestling show, apparently,
Yes.
Apparently.
you must do battle.
Ah.
So I say, at this Sunday's pay-per-view event, I shall be giving you a match. A match with the stipulation that I have yet to choose, but I am open to influence. The influence of you two gentlemen. I wish to hear how you would like to battle and how you would like to see who is not only the victor in the ring, but the victor in love.
This really is like a pay-per-view event. There's so much padding.
Tell me, gentlemen, how do you wish to battle your opponent?
Mr. Irresistible prefers to make love and not war. But when the time comes, he knows how to lay down tough love. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you be passive no more. For 5 seconds. 5 whole seconds. Your lips are going to touch mine. And we're gonna become a flaming ball of desire. If you can keep me away for 10 minutes.
For those listening at home, he just gestured with his digit.
10 minutes! Mr. Irresistible will let your passivity pass and simply ignore you.
Oh.
Whilst I love the rest of the world. But if I can get 5 seconds of hot lip action, you're mine, baby.
So just to clarify, me as one of the half of the tag team champions and apparently the general manager of this very small brand. To clarify,
It's very small but very diverse brand.
very erotic brand. The stipulation that you so choose is your opponent must avoid you kissing them for 10 minutes. That is what I'm hearing.
Minimum kiss length is 5 seconds to win.
Excellent.
I'm gonna pin with the lips.
And I get.
Work with the hips.
And what stipulation do you choose?
I'm sorry, I'm too passive. Are you still going back there? Have you not finished yet? That's fine. I don't move.
You know what? I don't want to wait for this Sunday's event. I say this match begins. Oh, wait. I'm behind the chair. Right now!
I never finish first.
Hang on, can we shag on Twitch?
No, we can't do that.
No.
Pin him with your lips.
I think this is against the terms of all services.
Also, he's married.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... I mean, Captain Passivity isn't, but there's a level of method acting where I'm
Mr.
sure it's
Irresistible
illegal.
respects the bounds of matrimony.
Sorry. You can see the outline of my genitals. Apologies.
I don't think that's against terms of service. I think genital outlines are accepted.
No, you're right in the chat. No, I'm not circumcised.
For those listening after the fact, that was not in the chat.
I can't even read the chat. It might as well be Arabic to me. I can't even see words.
Did that satisfy your cravings?
It did actually. I'm going to take this off. Ugh.
He's
been unmasked! It was I!
Never put it on again.
That was my favourite birthday surprise ever.
I'm going to put this on your Dalek.
Just rest a mask upon my supreme.
You say that to all the boys.
Stick it on my dome.
Oh man.
So that's been something I've wanted to. It's been on my mind. I wanted to ask for ages, but I didn't want to send it in because I wanted to be here for it. Because I wanted to do the bit.
Commit
I'm glad
to
you were.
it.
So glad
I
you
wasn't. I know when it came around to be.
Oh god.
I'm vaccinated and I can come and can do the things. The first thing I did was, well, I'll get the mask. I'll get my leotard ready. I owned both already.
Symptoms may include.
I don't have my unitard anymore, sadly, and I don't think I'd fit into it even if I did.
I think I could probably
No,
fit
with that
my.
attitude, you won't.
I think I could probably fit my jazz pants around a wrist at this point, and that's the most successful
But if
pull-up
I
I'd have.
could, Mr. Irresistible will be making a comeback.
Mr. Irresistible, I like it.
Would
I like
Mr.
it.
Would
What would
Mr.
your finisher be? There's just the lip pin.
The lip pin.
That's your
Oh.
finisher.
Yeah, lip pin.
And what was your character name?
Captain Passivity.
Captain Passivity would just be the snacking.
I think he'd just recline on his chair.
Yeah, he just let him run himself out.
There's actually a wrestler.
He'd disappear from the ring, reappear behind the commentary desk, and just watch.
I've rediscovered wrestling somewhat.
Have you? I could never have told.
Lately.
This is a surprise.
There's a wrestler called Orange Cassidy who
Orange
does
Cassidy.
every single match with his hands in his pockets and his sunglasses never come off his face. At no point does he make any effort whatsoever, and he's one of the most popular people going right now.
Oh my god.
He's very good.
That's very
He's
good.
very good. Have any of you not heard of this guy? Because he wears double denim, he wears sunglasses, like Ray-Ban sunglasses, and he keeps his hands in his pockets the entire. Like does front rolls, moonsaults, like everything, but his hands never come out of his pockets. It's excellent.
That's kind of admirable and worrying at the same time.
Just like our emails.
He fucking did it. He did it. He did a segue.
Just like a tag team champion would, but he's not a tag team champion. I'm a tag team champion.
No, I'm a solo player.
See, I'm a
Wait. Does that mean no?
Bro,
I'm not even going to ask.
Mr. Irresistible is flexible. He'll take on any matchup.
And a Jedi apparently with that hand gesture.
Jedi of love.
You don't need to see
Ugh.
my lubrication. Emails apparently.
Emails. We've got so many emails.
Emails. Oh
I'm
god.
trying to get the
Some
hood
of
on
you have finally pulled your fingers out.
and send them some shit.
Sent us some shit to read.
Send
First one-
us shit to read.
First one comes in from Big Damn Dan. Are you still in the chat, Big Damn Dan? I hope you are.
DJR
Bet you
commented
are, you
moments
little
ago.
slut.
I hope you are.
I don't know. I don't know anything about you, Dan. Sorry.
I first heard the Big Damn Cast just after the first episode went out. I've been following Chris on YouTube for a while. Stop doing that. I'll get a restraining order. I emailed in time for episode 3, I think. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed an episode to this day. Poor man. The Biggest Damage podcast turns 5 this year, and I'm turning 20. Fuck me, you're young.
Woo! He was 15 when he started.
I mean, so was I, but I don't advertise it. Like everyone's teenage years, it's been a wild ride, but thanks to Chris and Matt and the guests along the way, I've been able to take a step back each week and listen to 2 fellow Manchester-based man-children talk about comics, movies, TV shows, and some other things as well.
There was other stuff apparently.
I've just thought of a tag team name for the two of you, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, when you do eventually join forces,
What's
it
that?
would be the Mank
Yeah,
children.
the Man-children, yeah.
The
yeah.
Mank children.
Oh. Mr. Irresistible has love for all children.
No,
Not creepy,
wait,
not in a creepy
wait.
way.
Mr. Irresistible may have phrased that poorly.
Duffman.
Duffman can't breathe.
Oh yeah. filled with "Oh no."
Oh no!
No.
Oh no.
Taking the dog out. Here's why the new Artemis fowl is tripe. Doing your paper round near Halloween. Here's Guy Lambert being Guy Lambert. Spooky. Counting stock for a family friend's business. Here's a really noisy discussion about Venom with some of the wonderful 5 Who fans. Theme tune provided by you. Sent in an email about asking about comics. Here's an entire episode about it. My favourite episodes of the Large Dan Pod, the ones I've revisited.
The large Dan Pod, I've revisited because of the amount of Dan word. I talk about the comics and then all of the. I did.
Thoughts?
The ones I've revisited a few times.
We have fuel
The
time.
top 5, top 10 stuff, the MCU films, classic Who, etc. And the recaps like the Ultida era and the Recapaldi videos. The Recapaldi ones were fun.
I love the recap, Baldi.
Well,
yeah,
we need to finish our X-Men recap, and then we need to find something new.
Wait, hang on. No, at no point did he say that any of his favourites are the ones that I featured in.
No, he likes the guest. He said.
No, but he didn't specifically name me.
It's not finished. It's a long email.
Well, just look.
Just shut up.
I'd say disregard this entire thing.
Get back in your closet.
Get.
Outside the podcast, your playthrough of the Doctor Who world on Lego Dimensions always leaves me in stitches. I'd love to hear a recap episode of the earlier Moffat stuff at some point, by the way. Yeah, that'd be a lot.
Yeah, we've not done Smith. We've never done Smith's era.
The show has given me not only confidence in liking what I like and being a bit of a nerd, but even inspired me to try new things. Like, Matt had to go at learning an album onto drums all the way through. Music Origin of Symmetry, gave up. So did I. I made it 5 tracks in. How did you go? I only filmed the first 3, but I made it 5 tracks in. I occasionally join Chris on his Twitch channel. I want a Target novel I should probably read at some point. And eventually backlogging on the Big Damn stream and thought I'd try that too. How hard can it be? Turns out, pretty hard. You know. Well done, boys. But the biggest way Bite Dat Cat has impacted my life is during lockdown when I finally decided to start a podcast. There were plugging on here before, but thanks to that, I've met my boys over at the Shubbercast. Whoops, I plugged it anyway. Shubbercast.
Shubbercast.
To you.
Well done.
I'm dry. So.
Also, don't bite that cat.
Just a little nod over to this guy.
If I had to think
Thanks, sweetheart.
of anything negative about the big... Maybe don't read that one out. No, I'm not going to read that one out.
No.
It's that the inside jokes on the podcast do find their way into everyday things. Gladder, am I a good man? Gladder, am I a good man? In the Michael McIntyre voice, anyone? Rambling over. Anyway, thank you so much. Happy birthday. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Dan, for your dreams.
Were you applauding your own praise?
Yep.
You guys are the worst.
We are, in a way. And yet they keep coming back for more.
That being said, I could maybe do with some praise. You
say
dragging
that.
These two kicking and
Charles, I
screaming.
really like your purple trim.
You say that.
Right? It's Agatha all along.
Hey!
It was Charlie all along.
To be fair, Earful of Emma in chat did say, "It's okay, Charlie, you're my favourite everything." Though I did vote for Matt in the Who Would Win the Wrestling Match poll.
Wait, was there a poll?
There was on the Twitch live version right now. Who'd win in a wrestling match? It's still going, so I'll let you know the result. When
Obviously, Matt would win because look at him. Like, he's a giant Viking. Like he would.
Mr. Irresistible is going to pin you down.
Yeah.
And make
Mr.
you
Irresistible.
beg for more.
What was your theme tune again?
I've never seen the song anywhere else. It was a band called Pork Belly, and the song.
You got to give us a.
I can't find it.
I'm not saying find it. I'm saying give us a little rendition.
Remember how it goes.
Well, then it's not your theme tune. Then it's not fucking song. You can't remember it. Give us a rendition of something.
We're live on air. Make something up. No dead air. Go for it. How does it sound, Matt?
Mr. Irresistible, surely.
They call him Mr. Irresistible.
That was good. What's the chorus? What's the chorus?
It's like a Southern Rocky thing. That is the chorus.
What's the verse?
It's just that all along.
Yeah.
It's like bourbon-soaked Southern rock.
The chat would like to know...
Are you an American character?
No, but that's what I like.
You're a soulful gentleman.
Yeah, but that's what I like. I'm not fucking Stone Roses to it.
Chat would like to know how drunk we are, by the way.
Quite.
Out
of 10?
I
think I'm breaching out of a 6 into a 7.
I'm same.
I'm on the kind of threshold between the two numbers.
This one comes in from Lewis.
Ooh, hey, Lewis. Is that Gargantuan Apple, Lewis?
I believe so.
Because he's in chat. He's in chat.
Is it
He's been in
you?
chat.
I get mixed up. I forget who's who.
There are too many Lewises, probably.
Greetings, Chris and Matt.
And Charlie.
I'll
Also
go.
Charlie.
I'll go fuck myself. Then,
People
shall I?
didn't know you were coming.
They should have assumed.
Happy 5th birthday to the podcast. It's really hard to believe that it's been 5 years since episode 1. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. In my head, I still think of you guys as a new podcast. We're doing new podcast numbers. Like, it's been a real fun. It's been a real fun journey listening to you lads chat about geeky gubbins for the last half a decade and popping on.
Half a decade. No, that phrasing is really unnerving.
Yeah, I know.
Half a decade is cute.
That's frightening. That is frightening.
I know.
Oh God.
In terms of favourite moments in episodes, there are so many that I've gone back to again and again. Your Arkham retrospective is still massively engaging.
That's early days.
Matt's Pokemon Go rant absolutely killed me when it first came out.
Yeah.
Probably the episode that cemented the show as my favourite podcast. That's very sweet, thank you.
Oh, bless your eye.
The rundown of every single Christmas movie ever was the episode that introduced me to the infamous Mr. Soft Touch, which is just one of my favourite movie titles
Christmas
ever
movie
now.
ever? When did you do that? I missed that one.
And of course,
I think that was like the first or second Christmas, yeah.
I must have heard. I must have listened
the
to
discovery that Disney Plus is overrun with sky ghosts.
It still is.
Honestly, I could go on and on because we do. Because there are so many episodes I've re-listened to time and time again, from Andrew's anguish to Toby's tears, from throbbing peat meat to bulbous and sweating. The Big Gun cast has never failed to entertain me week after week for 5 years. But seriously, thanks for being there every week. There have been so many times when this podcast has really cheered me up and taken me out of a dark place. Thanks for the dedication and for cultivating such an awesome community. Big Damn Cast will always be my favourite podcast. Here's to the next 5 years. Well, thank you.
And here's to you.
Here's to you.
Here's to you boys.
Also, here's to us.
Can I read one? Because I want to be able to be the one to give you the praise.
Oh, wait,
so I can feel like I'm included.
We've got one from Sam.
Do I hate Sam?
No, I don't know.
You hate everyone.
You don't hate Sam. Sam sometimes sends us weird reviews of old Doctor Who episodes.
Oh, he's that
fashion.
Sam. Yeah. So I might not understand.
Sam, I am.
So go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, what is this whiskey we're drinking, by the way?
So this is before Charlie reads that. Once again, we're going to do the shill for the thing we're not sponsored by.
But if they'd like to,
this is Auchentoshan single malt.
That's why you're not being shilled. You don't pronounce that bastard.
Distilled and bottled in Scotland, cast in American oak.
It's fucking beautiful.
Very good.
Single malt Scotch.
Hello, lads. It's me, Sam. Just here to say happy birthday, you fuckers. It's been 5 years now. Trump has been and gone. Two versions of Justice League have happened, and lots of people have died.
I really should have laughed at that, but that's very, very silly.
Like my brain, if I ever had one. To quote episode 126, the Kings of Geek Trivia, keep on flying, kids.
Oh, God.
Quiz time!
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I picked
It's a trap!
I picked a good email to do.
Oh,
good luck with this.
Considering we're half cut.
I'm only getting cues. Okay, I only have the cues.
The answers are at the bottom.
Oh, they're okay. Sweet.
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine.
Have you read the answers, or have you
read them
avoided
already?
the answers?
Or is this just a Chris? Is this a Chris thing?
I skimmed them, but I probably can't remember.
He's also drunk, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to direct the first one to Chris. Then.
All right, yeah,
Oh.
you do that.
Well,
Chris, I want to judge him.
While I sniff this, what's it called again?
Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Considering this is the show that you are a part of, a long-time part of, you...
Co-producer,
One might say he's been here the whole time.
You're a little spoon.
You'd hope that you might know this one.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Just a reminder, I've drunk Carver,
No,
Stella Artois,
no, fuck off. Like, we've all been around the same point, so suck, my dear.
When you say we've been around the same point, you're referring to your genitals in lycra. Furthermore, question B.
Look at it,
You
Chris.
did then say so.
It's not really a point, is it?
Anyway.
It's very rounded.
He's very happy to be here.
It's a nubbin. It's like a little thumb without a knuckle in it.
You just wait until Hello Magazine gets a
What's the bubble about? The flash makes my dick look frightened.
No, it's a thumb without a nail.
It's like a minion from Spy Kids.
So, Chris, what was the second video on the Big Damn channel.
Oh, I mean, if we're not counting podcast episodes...
I don't know if I am or not.
Because the very first video on the Big Damn channel was the introductory
and your time is up. We're moving on to question 2.
Second video... What? Wait.
Was
the second video...
Let him work through it.
The second video...
Let him tire himself out.
I can't remember
the...
I can't remember the number... Because it was within the first year and a bit, but it was the Christmas episode, and it was us talking about the Husbands of River Song. I remember that because I made a fake version of it on my channel. It was only 2 minutes long.
I mean, listen to the question.
It turned into us saying, "Go." Oh God, yeah.
What does the question ask?
Second video on the Big Damn channel. So it will be. It's a Big Damn cast, and it's got River Song in the name or the title.
Is it Chris?
I think so.
Is it
yeah.
Big Damn cast?
Let him go with it.
I think so.
Am I leading you towards?
I think it is. I think it is because the first ever video was the intro video, and the second ever video was that.
If Sam's giving me a false bill of goods, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue ignoring him.
Ian in chat has said that's the third, so that does mean there was another one.
There was another.
Okay.
No, there is another.
Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. Okay, so yeah.
No,
so I'm going to give you the answer. No, I'm going to give you the second question.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Go on.
What?
It's the Lego Dimensions Doctor Who playthrough.
You're wrong, sir.
No.
Question 2.
What is the answer then? If I'm wrong,
I want to let you stew with it because I think it's going to annoy you.
He's going to tell you.
What was the first game you
shit.
played on the Big Damn channel?
Like ever? That's a callback as of bollocks. Then again, was it uploaded to the Big Damn channel?
You have said it in the last 5 minutes already.
Have we?
You have said the name of this game.
Have I said the name of this game?
You, Christopher Johnson, have
Lego
said
Dimensions, Doctor Who.
You have said Lego Dimensions Doctor Who level pack.
Yes.
Which is what it says here.
because I was thinking of Big Damn Stream, but it wasn't. It's Big Damn Channel.
So,
yes.
question.
Yes. Oh.
Do you like the film Cats and Dogs?
I do not like the film Cats and Dogs.
That's not the answer that I've got here. But I don't know quite how to judge that.
That is just... He's literally just... He's only... He's asked 5 questions, but only given... No, he asked 4 questions, but only given 3 answers. That third question is just a random... It's not part of the quiz, it's just a random question.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are 5 questions and 3 answers. And one of the answers has no reference to the...
I'm just going to keep sniffing this and hoping for the best.
There are 4 questions and 3 answers.
Just so you know, everyone listening at home, this whiskey tastes delicious.
I'm very sorry. Do you like the film Cats and Dogs?
No!
But there is another quiz question underneath it.
Do you like the film Cats and Dogs?
I've never seen it, but probably not.
I have seen it when it came. I remember going
Who's in it? Name a voice actor.
Oh,
Tobey Maguire is the lead.
The Spider-Mans.
Spoderman.
Spider-Man's own.
Mr. Nasty Poker is.
I remember when it came into Blockbuster, when it came on home release, I did get it on VHS from Blockbuster. I think it's early noughties, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You can get it from Asda, mate.
Yeah, I'm just flashing the whiskey into the chat who are watching this live on camera. There you go. There you go. We're not sponsored.
No, sorry. Hang on. Don't be paying attention to the things we're drinking. Pay attention to the things we're saying. This is fucking Goldust, people.
No, Goldust is the other wrestler.
You goddamn pleb! Where's my mask?
Goldust is the other wrestler.
God damn you! You all suck!
This has taken a turn.
No, I mean, I
love how we were going to go for an hour and a half.
No, I've had
2 hours and 9 minutes.
I've had
4 emails to go.
No, I have had abject contempt for your audience from the beginning.
My phone's
I've thought so little of all of them. And that's just affirmed it.
He hates everyone.
No, by the fact that I'm not being showered with praise.
Oh my
God. My bravery, my I'm not just in what I'm wearing, but just in the fact that I've come into this show and I'm taking
arguably
part,
saved it,
and I'm doing my best, and the fact that you're what you want to know about the drink we're having.
If I plug this into your laptop, will it throw everything off?
How fucking dare you all! Can I keep yelling at them, or am I going to...
Go for it, I'm enjoying it.
You fucking people! Right!
Finish the quiz.
Right, finish the quiz.
We'll be here tomorrow.
All right, okay. So people don't like cats and dogs.
Oh my god.
So,
I'm aroused.
the Big Damn Cast had its second birthday live, but what musical instrument did Matt play the theme of the podcast on?
Ooh.
He adds the kind of clarifier at the end of it. This is probably very easy for you.
It is very easy.
Yes, it was Matthew's acoustic guitar. The second anniversary episode was a live special in this room. It was the last time we did one live.
Yeah.
And arguably should have been the last time we did one live.
I beg your pardon.
Because
how dare you,
the Costa
sir?
Broadband.
How dare you, sir?
I'm not leaving.
Was he right?
He was right. It was a guitar.
Yeah. What else does the email have to say?
Why? Just why did you start all of this shit? See you soon. Bye. P.S. And he includes a GIF.
As he always does.
Do you like Poirot?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, sure.
I'm ambivalent towards Poirot.
I quite like a Poirot.
I have no opinion whatsoever.
I like a Poirot.
You're such a Hastings.
Why did we start all this shit? Because we spend a lot of time talking a lot of shit with each other, and we just figured we'd start recording it.
Yeah, that was pretty much
That's
it.
kind of it.
We just chatted. Whenever we'd have a little touch up each week, Your Honour, we'd be like, oh, did you see Thingy? Oh God, yeah. We were like, why don't we just turn a microphone on while we do it?
Two out of work performers with nothing to do, basically.
Let's find a way to sort of stay warm and also shoot the shit. Don't turn a microphone on.
Organised fun. There's something to be said about it.
Yeah,
no, genuinely, I'm a proponent for it because I don't feel like I chat nearly as openly, as easily, as fluidly as I do in situations like this with you two.
The booze helps.
I genuinely. That obviously, yes, of course.
I'd just like to point out, Matt is a lifelong Transformers fan who has an almost like a supernatural compulsion to transform a Transformer and get his hands on. I've just noticed you've transformed some Transformers while we've been recording.
You've got this little Optimus, this little movie one Optimus Prime. They've reused this mold for every movie release.
Yeah, that's it. That's technically a Revenge of the Fallen
Is it
toy,
Revenge of the Fallen?
but only noticed in its paint. It's the same model from the film.
They even did a version of this for The Last Night.
Write in the comments if you've got any opinion whatsoever.
Write in the comments if you've ever
the quality of Transformers toys.
if you've ever touched another person.
It is not good.
Write in the comments if you're surprised that we've ever had romantic relationships.
Yeah.
They've both made love to women. I don't know if that says more of the women or more of them, but
keep
both
in
done
mind,
it.
you've got the chat in your vision now, so so you can tell me if Keeks is ashamed.
Frequently. Hello. This one comes in from Jack, by the way. This is not really an anniversary theme.
Wait, have I missed Tom Monty?
We've not had a Tom Monty one.
What?
We think Tom perished in a storm.
Yeah.
Oh, he may.
Yeah. This one comes in from Jack. Jack says, "Hello once again, my big damn boys.
Hey, Jack!
This is a time for...
Big Daddy J!
This is time for Matt and Chris, two lifelong Doctor Who fans, reluctantly answer Doctor Who questions.
Shit!
I will use this opportunity to slip into something slightly more comfortable. Because Doctor, I love it. Look, I'm having to wear it like a bathrobe. Look, yes, no tease for you. No tease for you.
Cover your shame.
Covering it. Right, enjoy, gentlemen.
Hello once again, my big damn boys.
You weren't there.
With the 13th series of Doctor Who on the questionable horizon.
Have I knocked some stuff off?
Probably. It doesn't matter.
You've left your mask on the Dalek. I've been looking back at the 13th Doctor's first two series and I've noticed something.
Oh, what's that? They were on telly.
To me, at least, the resolution, pardon the pun,
Yeah.
of the episodes feels rushed in more than a few instances. The issue did improve in Series 12, so I'm looking more towards 11. I think there may be a reason for this. Could be complete bollocks, but here we go.
Oh, I like complete bollocks.
Before Series 11 ended, there was there was a rumour that each episode would be an hour long.
Yes.
So instead of 13 45-minute episodes, there'd be 10 hour-length episodes, resulting in overall more Doctor Who.
Mm.
As we know, only Whittaker's first outing in The Woman Who Fell to Earth was an hour long. Could it be possible that all of Series 11...
That's the woman who fell to earth.
Yes. Could it be possible that all of Series 11 was meant to be an hour, but they had to cut 15 minutes from each of them. Could explain why the endings feel rushed. Again, could be complete bollocks, but just a thought. Enjoy Dalek Terror. Your very infrequent emailer, Jack H.
Hey, Jack.
Do we think there's any truth to that?
That they were cut down like during? I mean, maybe. It's possible.
But like during production or during scripting?
I think in the edit, if anything.
You really? That could explain it.
Because here's the thing too, as well. Like the most prominent nerd time, the most prominent sort of Doctor Who presence in terms of its marketing at the moment, really, of the last 5 years has been Doctor Who BBC America and their accounts and the way they plug the show.
Yeah.
It's got a fairly decent like viewership in the States on BBC America.
Mm.
So what do Americans like, aside from grilled cheese and being right all the time? They like war too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What have the Americans ever given us? They like they like a good half hour.
Yeah.
And an American half hour is 45 minutes.
Yeah, because you've got 15 minutes of ads.
Yeah. So 45-minute TV shows are ideal for American networks.
Yeah.
All sort of Series 11, mostly for the most part, pushes 50 minutes at the very most, doesn't it? So that's probably an editorial decision.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to chop it down too much. Because you remember over it, but when we were younger, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer was over here, it debuted on BBC Two, cut down by about 15 minutes to get rid of some of the more post-watershed material. They'd try and trim it down to about half hour every time, and then like at 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday night, BBC Two would show the full version. So I imagine it wouldn't be that too dissimilar. Maybe with Docky Who. Maybe. So BBC America are like, look, if you could give us, if you've got a tight 45 in your back pocket, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we could put the ads in.
Yeah.
Because even though it's a BBC channel, it's still like a commercial channel in the States, so it's got ad breaks and everything. Yeah, maybe. And I agree with you with the fast wrap up. I don't know if that's the thing of the edit. I think that's a scripting thing, but they do sort of conclude the stories really quick.
Story. Conclusion.
Oh, I guess, no, wait a minute. No, that big spider's dying because it's got no oxygen. Ah, well, end of the episode. So there is a bit of that. Which other eras are guilty of as well. Like, other eras are absolutely guilty. I mean, I love
full-part stories.
Yeah, I love John, but an awful lot of, like, the Pertwee stories, or the last episode will go, oh, shit, conclude it. Bye! And you're like, oh, I guess that's it. Even though we spent 6 weeks here, and we could have eked it out over 6 weeks.
Some stories you'll wish that they ended.
Yeah.
3 episodes earlier.
Charlie, hello, it's me, little Jodie Whittaker.
The ambassadors of death.
Hello, it's me. Oh.
Sorry, I'm back in my. I was going to say civvies, but
Charlie,
I've been to the toilet getting me normal. I say normal clothes, but this is my lockdown outfit.
You disappeared like half an hour ago, and some crazed madman came into the room instead.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, just checking. Are we still 6 going into 7?
Yeah, Lucy and I, we've been making love.
Oh, fair enough. Do you know what?
She didn't notice. It's very subtle.
I'm very tender.
She's Captain Passivity.
She just do your filthy business.
Keeks likes your trousers, by the way.
As well she should. Look at them! They've been a lockdown mainstay for old Charles.
Can Twitch handle this much groin?
This one comes in from George.
George!
And I have instructions to read it in a specific voice. Oh. But apologies.
Is it Brian Blessed?
No. But apologies if this voice is not right, because I'm not a very good mimic.
Oh.
You are when it's people that you can mimic.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like... You know,
you're like John Culshaw and his 5 impressions.
I'm not the guy who can do the impressions of everyone. I'm not that guy.
No, but you can do the impressions of the people you can do impressions of.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is probably not this person.
That's Brian Blessed is a good one.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Greetings, big damn lads. I've broken through the void and finally able to communicate after 3 days on Derillion with Bank Holiday Benny and Matt's impression of Christopher Nolan. This is terrible.
It's an Australian.
No, it's not Australian.
Oh, a New Zealander?
Since then, I have had a lot happen, both good and bad. I won't bore you with the details, but I did see Godzilla v Kong.
His name is Michael Caine, and not many people know that.
On my return to the cinema, which was a chuffing delight. As Rowan Atkinson once said, I hate being Mr. Bean. Anyway, I'm rambling. Happy 5th bloody birthday.
Oh, was this supposed to be Richard Iowade or something?
No.
Is it Boise?
No. It's someone.
Is there more left?
It's someone who everyone assumes that I'm really familiar with, because of course it's the kind of thing that I would like. But a beloved British comedy character, I don't actually have that much experience
David Mitchell.
with.
Modern British comedy character, or at least British comedy character still around.
Partridge.
Yeah.
Aha!
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm the same.
I can't do Partridge.
Yeah, and also I've never really seen Partridge either.
Yeah, I saw quite a fair bit of Knowing Me, Knowing You, Aha with Alan Partridge.
But no, I don't have the kind of like.
People assume that I
you
love
love it.
Partridge,
I know you love it,
and I don't love Partridge. Not because I don't like Steve Coogan.
You have a lot of Partridge.
I just don't.
He's passing me
have
Partridge.
that thing.
So I'm going to drop passing Charlie Partridge DVDs.
I'm going to drop the Partridge because I can't do Partridge because I don't know Partridge as well as people think I do.
There's a lot of Partridge.
We're not sponsored
by Partridge.
By Alan Partridge.
No,
it's not that I don't like Alan Partridge. I just don't engage with it.
Tell you what, for those who are watching this live or after the fact, carry on with your accurate impression, and I'll just hold this to camera.
I'm not going to carry on with my accurate impression because it's terrible.
Guys, Alan Partridge is in the podcast now.
Can someone? If I read the next one, the someone in the chat, give me someone to try and imitate.
Okay,
but make it be someone make it be someone that I can do.
Long-time listeners might know one you can do very well.
I'm going to drop this.
See the 3rd anniversary special.
I'm going to drop this Partridge impression because I cannot do it because I don't know Partridge. Aha!
Shows only. I can do.
I'm in the wrong fucking county, for Christ's sake.
No, I can do Steve Coogan's impression of other people.
Yeah,
that I can do, but actual Partridge, I can't.
That's what Steve Coogan does. I'm not going to try and do it. Time has flown by since discovering you in Christmas 2017. To my once regular contact with you fine fellows, I haven't missed a week and eagerly await Fridays like James Corden craves attention. I'm a bit rusty at this, so here goes nothing. This is interesting. In another universe, we got Eccleston in Series 2.
Charlie's about to leave again.
No. I'm closing my eyes to like try and do my imagination palace.
Tennant in Series 5.
Oh,
wait.
Smith in Series 8.
Okay.
And Capaldi in Series 11.
Okay.
What would you rather have seen? What stories would you have kept the same? What stories would you swap out? Feel free.
Is this just knocking everything over a year?
Yeah.
Oh no, just to different eras. So Tennant would have started with the stories Smith had in this hypothetical situation.
Tennant's last season would have been Smith's first season in terms of stories.
Right.
Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because if Capaldi's Series 11, then Capaldi would be Jodie's first series in terms of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So Eccleston was in Series 2.
Was he?
Yeah, the same.
Oh, in this scenario.
Yeah, so when does Tennant start in the hypothetical?
Series 5.
So Chris would have done the first 4 series and the specials, and then David would have started with Series 5.
No, he's
when
just
Matt
knocking them all
started.
back a year.
Are we?
Yeah, Eccleston sticks around for an extra year, basically.
Regardless,
everyone sticks around for
everyone. The story structure, plots, everything else remains the same. But the people playing the Doctor, if it's just moved on a year, that's all that changes.
Regardless, my answer is burn it all down to the ground.
Okay.
Eccleston's 1 year is perfect. I don't want to go into the alternate universe where he's around.
Let me finish the email before we dig into this. What stories would you swap out? Feel free to make up your own. As always, my admiration of both of your exceptional hard work and talent remains unmatched. Keep on trucking or whatever the kids say these days.
Both.
Once again, the pleasure was all yours. Yeah. Goodbye, my dears. Goodbye, my dears.
Both.
George.
It's a little bit, mean-spirited to just say the two of them, but considering I'm the most frequent contributor.
It's true, you are the most frequent contributor
to the local sperm bank.
I mean, I'm 31 now, so I've got 7 more years before I have a whole bunch of children kind of contact me. The implication there is that I donated a bunch of sperm when I was a student, which I was very close to doing. It didn't do in the end. It turns out that you actually have to wait a really long time, because the thing was I needed cash like then and there, and that's not how sperm donation works. So I didn't actually do it in the end, but like it did. Like if I like, I'm at the point where I'm explaining the joke, so it's kind of it was a bad joke to begin with.
Is the parallel universe where you donated sperm for quick and easy cash the same universe where Chris Eccleston did 2 series of Doctor Who?
Let's say it is.
Okay,
I'm
on board.
So,
I'm on board.
So the Tennant's first year on the show.
It's his 3rd year, so
No.
second year.
His first year on the show is now Eccleston's 2nd year.
So Tennant's first year would be series 3, Tennant's 2nd year.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving along one.
yeah, everything's just getting
Eccleston would
shunted.
have been in the Christmas
Okay.
Invasion.
How do
in
you
New Earth? all
like?
that
Well,
shit.
it wouldn't have been the Christmas Invasion, would it?
Well,
well,
no.
why-
so
why
much would
not,
have changed because
Because
a
it's
lot
all
of
about
those-
him being bedridden because he's regenerated.
Yeah, a lot of those first
But
stories.
he could be bedridden for another reason.
Oh, I've got a cold. Rose, I'm going for a nap.
I've got Gallifreyan flu.
I've got Gallifrey and flu.
Sorry,
I've got
I'm gonna-
Galliflu.
Putting my nerd hat on.
Oh.
He does have to absorb
That's
the
your
time
nerd hat.
vortex.
That's a sexy hat.
That is your
At the
regular
end.
hat.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. He does have to absorb the time vortex from Rose at the end of Part of the Way, so even if he doesn't regenerate, he'd probably still be pretty fucked. There we go, taking it off.
Excellent, thank you.
Yes. So
Or what would be better? What would be worse? Would there be any kind of like major changes that you
I think
think?
it'd just be fucking weird.
Like having Matt Smith do like Mummy on the Orient Express and that kind of stuff.
I mean, I'd watch that.
I
that
think
would be
I think
great.
that
would be great.
I genuinely think Peter Capaldi's first season would have been better had Matt Smith done
be in
it,
it.
Yeah.
just by virtue of him already having 3 years worth of good
Yeah.
Performances.
So you've
I
got
guess.
more.
goodwill,
You've
good-
got you've got more
goodwill on his side.
because part of the reason why people don't like Capaldi as much because that first season was so weak.
Yeah,
And
I
Like,
don't know about
like
the
it.
would the companions remain the same and they would change.
I think the companions would change.
They would change
the
in
way they
real-
do, yeah.
Okay, so
Because
Capaldi
the stories are dependent on
because
the companions.
because basically what it would work out as being then just to bring it sort of into as current time as we can do is that Capaldi would be doing the season would be doing Jodie's first season.
Yes.
The woman
Which
who
would
fell
be-
to Earth would be a very different story.
Yeah. But it would be a weird thing of Capaldi's dynamic with a 3-person companion team, 4-person TARDIS with Capaldi at the centre of it, including Bradley Walsh, who is filling that sort of older male role.
Well, that's the thing here. In this hypothetical, castings would have been different as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
No,
For
let-
the
well,
companion- for the
let-
companions,
Just
they
for the
would have-
sake of ease, let's say that they're not. Let's
Okay.
say
So
that
we're
they're
just
exactly the
we're just
same.
going.
All it is just lift, move, drop. we're not.
I don't know that I'd change anything, but I know that it wouldn't hit the same way it does now with it having been written for purpose. So in this parallel universe, I think we'd all just watch it and go, "That was kind of cool,"
I
but
think
some
what
of it was
would be
missing
interesting,
with
though,
some stories.
You know, 'cause
Like
you
I
don't-
think, let's take Rosa as an example because that's
Fred just
arguably is the best episode
Rosa.
of that show that's that they've done. I think in the modern iteration of it, for me personally, that's the best episode of television, start to finish, with
That they've made,
a
yeah,
beginning and
yeah.
an end, and it wraps up there. That they have done,
especially this era as well.
It's really- that
it's
one
head and
really hit
shoulders,
me.
Yeah.
and I think having it be because obviously Jodie being a white, but she's still woman.
Does she have an Instagram?
White woman's Instagram. White woman. Why did you do this, Matt? White woman's Instagram.
Fuzzy, comfy socks.
Anyway, so I think
Coffee table made of
the
driftwood.
idea of having a
Needle point.
a white man with a sort of predominantly non-white supporting cast, like
Yeah.
in his companionship,
Yeah.
and the difficulty therein, kind of going, oh yeah, shit, people think I'm part of this.
Yeah.
And like say for example, if someone was to ask, it's been a while since I've actually watched, so I actually can't remember anybody's names. Is it Ryan?
Yes.
Tosin Cole.
Yeah, is Ryan the
Yeah,
character
that's
name?
Ryan, yeah.
Going, get to the fucking back of the bus, and then for that like supporting artist to then look at Peter Capaldi for affirmation.
Well, that did happen in one of Capaldi's stories.
Well, I didn't see it,
yeah,
so
there is-
fine.
no, because when the series did with Pearl Mackie, there's an episode where they go back to Victorian London and they meet a dude who's being super racist to
Played
her.
by the brilliant Nicholas
And
Burns
he just
playing a proper
fucking
Buddhist
knocks him
villain.
out.
Yeah, he just
Like,
sparks him.
straight up lamps him.
He basically
Wait,
makes,
so why don't we
he's-
like Capaldi's
he's nasty,
Zero
he's
again?
nasty,
That
he's
sounds
nasty.
great.
No,
he's nasty, and then he makes a flat out racist statement, and the doctor
Yeah.
just punches
See,
him.
because the thing is,
Yeah.
I dropped off Capaldi's run in the first series he did.
Yeah.
Because I like Pearl Mackie, I fucking love Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
I was going to
was-
comedically grab those box sets and hand them to you, but they're over there. So I'm
It
not
just
gonna do
wasn't doing it for me. It just did I couldn't find the will to continue.
It's his last season is mostly pretty strong. It's
It,
like
shits, it shits the bed in the middle.
There's like a weird sort of
Is that the
trilogy
monk
of
thing?
episodes in the middle
Yeah,
of the
that's
the
film,
monk
which
thing,
is
yeah.
bad. But the rest
Okay.
of it is pretty fucking strong. Like I think
The
him and Bill
conclusion's
Mackey are
incredible.
really good. Yeah,
So good.
it concludes really
that,
well.
So good that the following on special is
Yeah.
pointless.
The Christmas special
Yeah,
comes and shits on the
the
finale
ending.
of it.
Yeah,
It's
it's like when you have like an amazing takeout and then you order one more round because you're like, that was so good, let's get it again, and then you go, oh, actually,
Can I just make a kind of a side point? Like,
Please do.
is that when Chris does this, and it delights me every time, is that he'll go, you know this thing, let me compare it to this food that I ate, and like how good or bad it is therein. Like you know, it's just like if you keep a McDonald's
Yeah.
overnight and you have the chips the following morning,
So
and it's just like
can I stop you
it's-
there? That's hilarious. You
it's-
think I would keep a McDonald's overnight?
how
I wouldn't have finished it the night
How
before.
dare I? How dare I?
How dare that be the thing?
I devoured it
I
5
have-
minutes before it arrived.
I have microwaved McDonald's chips before.
Ooh.
It's not a good idea. Don't as a
Public
as far
service announcement.
As far as PSAs go, it's pretty low stakes.
I did it 35 minutes ago.
Don't do that because it is a waste of electricity and it's a waste of potato.
Oh, God.
Chris, what show is ketchup? What show goes with everything for you?
Oh,
Judge Judy.
Scrubs for me. I can stick Scrubs on and kind of just be doing whatever.
Scrubs is I think our generation, some of our generation's friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's my friends,
yeah.
and in the same way that Friends is very problematic.
They're
there
not
is-
your friends,
because
Charlie. No one in that show knows you exist.
not yet.
I'll be there for you. Hypothetically,
I've
of
been
course.
I've been rewatching it because the two of the lead stars of the show started doing a podcast mid pandemic.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's
as kind of a rewatch thing.
Yeah, Turk and
Turk and GD,
GD,
Turk and
yeah.
GD, and usually that kind of thing kind of turns my stomach a little bit because those kind of rewatch things are usually like, they're kind of like.
oh,
Press
I have
ju-
fond memories.
Oh
but...
yeah, no,
yeah.
it's usually like press junket patter.
Yeah.
I was going, oh, wasn't it nice working with so and so? Weren't they all lovely? It's like, no, I've been on sets before. Like there's a cunt.
In every
Yeah,
set,
like no one's gonna be nice all the time. And when you're working, 120-hour weeks, like tempers are gonna flare and people are gonna go, and like they are actually quite good with going. One, I don't remember this episode because I was baked. I was smoking a lot of weed at the time. Anyway, my point being,
Turk was token.
that's my like, because I've seen it so many times over the years, I can like just click and just carry on with my business. I kind of occasionally look over my shoulder, ha, good one, JD. And then I'll carry on hoovering the floor or whatever I'm doing.
So that's Charlie's ideal
Brilliant.
Doctor Who.
I'm going to move on to the next email
Oh,
so
yeah.
we can finish this podcast tonight. This one comes
Let's
in-
try and get to 3. We've got 25 minutes left, guys.
Fuck
let's
no.
try and
We're
break the
not
3
going
hour
over the
barrier.
25 minutes.
I've done it before.
This
Let's
one-
see if we can do it again.
This one's coming in from James. James says 50 whole years.
Yeah.
It's a 50-year hole, mate. Chris, Matt, anonymous guest star.
Right.
Wait, is that me?
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, boys, you have made it. 50 years of the big damn cast. Personal assistant whispers in ear. Oh, only 5. Well, I am sure you'll achieve something of note someday.
That is the That is the best thing that's ever been recorded in the show.
I do jest. It feels like only yesterday
That's fucking brutal. Good for you, sir.
that
Good for you.
Harley was quinning, Matt was preaching, ghosts were busting, Pokemon was going, and you two boys began big damning.
Filthy
Now
damning.
you've dared to be in our ear sockets for 5 long years. Where do you
true.
go next? Do you start a meat emporium, a mince shop, or keep going with this a bit longer? Do you go Tenet style and start reenacting your episodes line for line backwards?
I would listen to it.
That's not a bad idea for
I
film.
probably wouldn't listen to most of it. I would listen to some of it.
That Web of Fear animation looks interesting, doesn't it?
Oh, did you see that?
I've not seen it.
Oh,
I
Be
don't know what
bold.
that means.
Be big, be damn,
it's-
and most important of all, be cast. From a bad boy cowboy casually pulling out William Hartnell's painful tooth. I mean, James, a bloke here since day one, a bloke who will be here till the last day.
Is he here now?
I'm sorry, was that a gunfighters reference?
Yeah, it was a good fight. So,
Is James here right now?
with a lot of the missing stories of Doctor Who, what they've done is they've gone back and animated the missing episodes.
Like the like audio tracks they found in Nigeria and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've animated the missing episodes.
And they've released it before with like, stills and shit.
Yeah. And they've done one for Web of Fear,
there it
which only has one episode missing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not like
Because it was
But
like...
are the scripts still about?
Yeah.
So like
here or there.
if the BBC, I mean, I'm sure they do have the inclination. They probably just don't have the time or the budget.
There has been
So
rumblings
kind of
about...
just go, let's just fucking do it again.
Yeah.
Like, is David.
And,
Did
that.
What's his name now?
Which one?
Which one?
Your man.
David
You-
Tennant.
you-
David-
No, not David
David,
Tennant.
there
No,
he
not
is.
him. No,
Show
that
it to
one.
camera, show it to
Him.
camera.
Him.
Patrick Troughton.
No,
John
the David.
Pertwee.
No, the David.
What?
What, David?
When
Who
they
are you pointing
when they
at?
when they
You're pointing
redid
at an
they
action figure
redid
of
it.
John.
Oh, Hartnell.
No,
David Bradley.
Bradley. Thank you.
David Bradley played William Hartnell's version.
Yes!
Of the Doctor, right.
And like, if there are missing ones, get him to fucking do it because he's still alive.
This is the story we're talking
Well,
about.
Because he's not. Because dare I say it, he's an elderly man. Like he's not long for this world. Like
Just so I can tell you a
nor
dramatic
any of
actor.
us.
Tell you a dramatic actor because I was like, turn it to camera. You never turn it to camera because you're waiting for the coverage to film the second
problem-
angle.
The problem is that most
There's
of the
no
missing...
over the shoulder shot. We're all one.
Yeah, I was
single
doing it like that.
Most of the missing episodes that people want animated are from Patrick Troughton's era.
Yeah. Because
So-
Well, do that. That's good. Like, show me Patrick Troughton. Show me what he
There
looks like.
There's little Patrick. Look at him.
So,
I mean, he's got-
what's your man from Titanic? What's his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, obviously not Leonardo DiCaprio, Chris. The guy that chains Leo up to the thing.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane!
No, Billy Zane's like bodyguard.
Billy Zane's bodyguard.
Billy Zane. Oh God. Billy Zane bodyguard Titanic.
I'm not googling it. I'm bringing the chat up.
Oh,
Billy Zane's bodyguard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Billy Zane's bodyguard.
do you guys know who I mean?
No!
But like the guy that chains Leo up, that does the gets him like that.
Have you been watching deepfakes again?
Shut your fucking mouth! How dare you?
Big damn chained up Leo OnlyFans when.
I'm. That's what I haven't watched the classic Who really.
Yeah.
Patrick Troughton. If the miniature is something to go by,
I'm trying to
it's
think
the
of
guy
your
from
thing.
Titanic.
In the biographical film made during the 50th anniversary, the one written by Mark Gatiss, Rhys Shearsmith cameoed as Patrick Troughton, and upset a lot of people because people were like, that doesn't work. But it was like, he's in one scene. Shut up, everybody.
Okay, let me find you the man that I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
in the chat, Kiki said David Warner.
I think
David Warner.
David Warner.
He doesn't look like Patrick Troughton now.
I think he's also like much older than Patrick Troughton was before he died. So I'm not sure whether or not they'd.
That's a recent David Warner. He looks more like William Hartnell.
Yeah, is
Oh,
that,
yeah,
who,
he
is
does
that,
in
is
that
that who
picture.
we're talking about?
I believe so.
Michael Troughton.
Spice of Lovejoy, yeah.
David Troughton. Sorry,
David-
David Troughton is Patrick Troughton's son.
Yeah, he's got sons
But he's like,
and
but he's
relatives.
like 6'3", and Patrick
Who was
Troughton
the
was
guy who
shorter.
was in Robin Hood?
Which Robin Hood?
The Troughton that was in Robin Hood was like his nephew or something, his grandnephew.
Which Robin Hood?
the BBC one.
Oh, no one remembers that. Like, no one remembers Atlantis.
See,
Bless everyone who worked on it, but no one remembers it.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, some of us remember it because some of us were in it.
Do you remember it?
I remember the day that I worked.
Well, there you are.
The single day that I worked.
You had an advantage over everyone who watched it.
I was also bad in it. If it's the first episode. I don't know if so it's not that far into it. I think it's about 20 minutes in.
I thought you gave a wonderful smouldering look, Charlie.
I'm also very bad in it. I'm not good in it. I'm bad.
So if everyone could look up Charlie's episode of Atlantis, the BBC one.
The only bit I saw is when
I tipped the table
badly, and then.
No, I say like. It's the whatever the ancient Greek equivalent to armed police coming in. It's that basically, but I kick the door in and I have a sword.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, nor did
I just saw the table flip.
Yeah, nor did any of the.
Nor did anyone.
Nor did anyone else.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Maybe be lying to comfort you, but Daniel Stride live in chat says you were great in it, Charlie.
Hey,
like I don't need your pity.
This one comes in from.
Don't be giving me your pity.
I mean, do give it to him.
No, wait, who is this? Dan?
Daniel Stride.
No, let me have a go at Dan for a minute.
No,
it's not that Dan. It's a different Dan.
Oh, it's a different Dan.
No, I'm going to read this email from Sam instead.
Okay.
It says, "Hello, Big Damn Boys. Just wanted to shoot you guys a message to congratulate you on your Big Damn 5th, Sam.
Sam.
No, not the Doctor Who correspondent.
Different Sam.
Sam,
I am.
Can you hear me, Sam?
I do not like you, Sam. I am.
Been listening to the start. And has been one of the podcasts that's kept me sane during the pandemic. I genuinely can't wait for what the next 5 years has in store. Keep doing what you're doing and keep being big, fabulous boys. Mr. Irresistible agrees with this. Goodbye, my dears. Sam. No, not the big Doctor Who correspondent.
Yeah.
Little short one from James. James decided to put another one in there.
Just quickly before we read this out, pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna order food immediately after this because we need to absorb something in our stomach.
James says we need more Charlie. Charlie every week. Potential musicals.
Yes. Finally!
Meg's on / with legs.
Validation!
Meg's on legs!
Who's this from?
It's from James.
Meg's on legs.
James, you're finally, all these other cretins.
Now, these are emails coming in as we've been recording this episode.
Like, I don't care, like, if you're watching this now, if you're emailing them.
God.
The rest of them in the bin. James,
he signs
you're
off,
good.
He signs off his email with, from a boy going to fight Mr. Irresistible. James again. Sorry.
Wait,
sorry.
No, you can't be James fighting Mr. Irresistible. You need a gimmick. You need a name. You can't just be, oh, my wrestling name's James. So you can't be like, welcome to the ring, weighing in at 200 pounds, James.
We just completed a community challenge, by the way. Everyone's been contributing points as they watch. This is now getting promoted to the front page of the Squid.
Quite right. Quite.
Just in time for it to finish.
I have more left in me. I'll keep going.
Are we going to end up ordering pizza and eating it on stream?
I mean, because it's all well and good because I have nothing on tomorrow.
I have to get up and drive to work at 6 in the morning.
You have things to do.
I have Zoom meetings with my new job.
Yeah, which is like.
I mean,
it's one of those like, I'm working, but I'm also working.
Are you on call tomorrow? Is it?
No, I'm talking about you. I have nothing on.
Okay.
I mean, like,
I've got 2 more emails to read.
Can I do one of them?
Yeah, you can read this one.
I do this so infrequently.
Is it a really short email?
Just,
comes in from, don't say the surname.
It is from Dan.
Hey, Dan.
I'm just going to focus up on penis. Penis is what it says. Just the word penis. 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 I can repeat it. It doesn't say multiply by...
Keeks in chat. Love of my life. The woman who I worship the ground she walks on. Adore her to bits. She says in chat, quality content.
Which bit? We can refocus.
And that's why I love you.
Because your standards are so low.
Okay. Here we go. Last email. Comes in from Ian. Dear
Oh, that's
sweet
an
Ian.
actual email.
Yeah.
I got the penis ones.
Oh, but it's an Ian email, so, you know, take it with a pinch
This
of
can
salt.
go any which way but loose. Last week he explained NFTs to us in Grizzly Dude.
Says-
I listened to that, and it was I found it quite helpful in its own weird way.
I'm sorry people will only hear this mostly as Chris went so red. I couldn't be bothered to type this up beforehand, so I'm typing it up on stream as I watch the 5th anniversary live. So here we go.
Good lad.
If an old beggared woman comes to your door, what Doctor Who DVD do you give her?
I mean,
To make her go away or to invite her
We
in.
did this.
we
You
did this in the comedy short.
What do you
film.
mean you did that?
And it was...
The YouTube comedy short film Once Upon a Time Lash.
It was Time Lash!
We gave her Time Lash in a comedy short, a Twilight Zone pastiche called The Crimson Zone.
In the 3rd anniversary, there are...
Oh, we
five-
did. This is
It's the
full
one
quiz.
me and him were in with the ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah. In the 3rd anniversary...
I'll send it to you while you're drunk. It's even better to watch when
In,
not
in
sober.
the 3rd anniversary, it's only possible to watch it when you're drunk. You can't watch it sober.
It's fucking weird.
Well,
In
I
the
mean,
third-
I'll tune in once we've done with the stream.
In the 3rd anniversary, the reporter talked about a slow climb towards relevancy and gradually expanding listenership. So when's that going to happen?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
This is why I fucking love you, Ian. So, as it's
Jesus
260
Christ.
episodes, here's 260 questions.
Fuck.
No way. Okay. Is it about the show? Because I might
You might get this.
I might struggle.
You might get
Well, no, I've listened to them all, but
Here
I
we
might
go,
struggle.
here we go. Big Damn Cast episode 1. Why?
It's a Harley Quinn thing.
Big Damn Cast episode 2.
It was Harley Quinn Y, wasn't it? Wasn't that what it was called?
Why?
I think they're all going to be why.
Big Damn Cast episode 3. Why? I assume you get the points. Can we take a moment to think about the best thing about the Big Damn Cast? It is, of course,
The
the
guest
listeners.
stars. Oh.
We have more guest stars than we have listeners, to be fair. Oh, wait. Sorry. I've been given a note and a gun, and it's been pointed at my head. It's Charlie.
Hey!
Here's to another 5 years!
Quick, exhale!
Yes! Magnificent!
That's all the emails!
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. We do it on the rights. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Go download the Pogues. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. And now the vocals. Now put a twang on it and it's Tom Waits.
I just want to say thank you so much, boys, for joining me in my show.
In your shed.
For the Big
This
Damn
fucking
Cast.
guy.
It's great having you guys on, and
We're never off.
you guys have been a great presence in my podcast, and I'm really grateful to.
No, I'm
I've had
grateful
you here.
for you having us.
Yes, well,
I'm just happy to be had.
If you think I've had you now,
Mr. Irresistible is always happy to have been had.
Captain Passivity
Mr.
just lies there until it's
Irresistible.
finished.
And on that note, we'll wrap up the audio podcast. We'll
Yeah.
probably leave the stream on for a bit because
Yeah. Those
so,
listening at home,
yes.
from all of us here at, we've always called it the Big Damn Towers, but let's be honest, it's
There's
more of an
no-
annex.
There's Big Damn second
Big
story.
Damn extension.
The
Big Damn
Big
Terrace.
Damn Airbnb. Thank you all
Yeah.
for letting us use your sheets for nefarious purposes. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with more shit.
Yeah.
But thank you, Charlie, for joining us for this week.
And my pleasure, and I'm so pleased to finally be back with the pair of you.
Yeah,
because
it's
this has
very
been
nice.
Far too long, and on average, I've chatted far less shit
I'm really...
in the last 18 months as a result of not being in your close proximity.
I'm really
so
glad
I'm very
we could do
grateful.
this in person because
Mm.
a 50th anniversary show with... Yeah, just can't.
There's only so much McKellen I can do for,
Yeah.
for your anniversary show.
There's
That
only-
was before lockdown. We just didn't want to see
That
it.
was.
Okay, gang. Email us at bigdamcontact@gmail.com. We go and watch us at twitch.tv/bigdamstream. And of course, if you do want to support us, you can indeed do that at patreon.com/bigdamcast. Yes, I know we're not doing weekly video content. We probably won't again anytime soon. We'll redo the intro video Now that we can be together again. Okay, so
Wait, before you like do the final thing,
yeah,
I remember now.
okay.
The last time I was here, I made a pledge. I made a plea to you guys there and you guys there.
We're not.
Charlie just pointed to the microphone for those
We're not
listening
finishing
at
the
home.
stream. We're only finishing the audio, so don't worry. You're gonna get the 3 hours
I
on
made
stream.
a pledge for people to send me photos of Chris and Matt as the superhero Dogman.
Oh.
Yes,
Dogman.
The only power that this sweet, precious boy has is the powers of a dog.
Wait, do you not mean Dogman, the kid's character by the creators of?
I do not.
Okay,
I do not,
cool.
Matthew. I mean the character that's in my brain, where it's essentially a man but with the brain of a dog.
Okay.
So he is naked. He's wearing a cape because he's a superhero. He's not a savage.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be treated like a good boy. And I wanted art. It doesn't matter how crude. Actually, the cruder the better.
Yeah, we're nothing if not crude.
And and that can mean in terms of talent and also in terms of content.
Yeah, too right.
I want pictures, videos, whatever kind of things you guys can rustle up of Chris and or Matt, preferably both, as Dogman. So basically, in layman's terms, I want a kind of Photoshop of Chris squatting, or sitting like a good boy, on all fours.
Yeah, that's
and Matt maybe cocking a leg or something on a fire hydrant. I don't want to.
I'm sure there's actual photos of that. You probably don't need to.
I don't want to be prescriptive, but you weren't wearing a cape.
That's true.
I want you.
Gets in the way though.
In a manner of speaking, you would have been.
You don't want to get shit on your cape, mate.
So can I if I can do that pledge again? Because it's been some time since, and I have yet to receive anything.
I mean, don't be frightened to give them a read. Like, don't be frightened to just tell them exactly how you want it.
Bring me pictures of Dogman.
No, I trust their artistic integrity. I don't trust them as people, so I don't want them to. I don't want them to necessarily go after my social media and follow me or anything. Like, don't bother with that. Like, send me the message and then leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because I would quite like to. It's been a long year. Like, Pornhub has only got so much content. Like, if you guys can provide me with some more,
there's always more porn, Charles.
But there's always
more Big Damn Cast.
Hey!
Bye, every audio listener. We'll see you next week.
Bye, audio listeners.
Bye, audio listeners.
I'm so sorry.